We are going to call to order the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for July 2nd. I'm going to kind of explain how we're going to run it so you understand it. First, when a matter is called, the applicant will come up and give his or her name or the agent. At this time, originals of any petition should be given to the clerk, Tara. Copies of those petitions should then be distributed to the board members. After the applicant's presentation, all interested persons in favor of that application may come forward and speak. After those in favor have spoken, those in opposition will then be heard. The applicant or his or her agent may then address the comments made by those in opposition. Second, this meeting is being recorded as required by state law. It's important that we're able to understand the recording. Therefore, only one person speak at a time, and anyone who wants to speak must come forward, speak clearly, as our recording device is located in the ceiling. And you must always give your name. We welcome comments of all interested persons, but we must exercise discretion in making sure that your comments are on point. And if you are too far off point, we reserve the right to restrict your comments. Third, applicants and interested persons may remain in attendance after the public hearing for the executive session to find out what was decided, or you may call the zoning office tomorrow morning to find out what was decided. As many of you have heard, we have a really large agenda today. We have 19 items. We cannot fit all the application people in the room, so some are in the hallway. So what we'd like to ask is, when we've completed your application, if you'd like to stay for when we vote, you're welcome to do that. But if you could wait outside so that people who are after you can come in and have a seat during their turn. Everyone should know where they are on our docket, correct, Matt? So if you know your agenda item, that would make it better. So all we're trying to do is have everyone have their time, but not make the room packed, okay? Fourth, if an application for a waiver is granted, the waiver is not valid until the notice is recorded. The applicant must bring a check in the amount of $70 made out to the town of Fairfield to the zoning office on Wednesday or later following the meeting for proper recording of the notice of filing. Sorry, I should also mention, if you do leave, you can call on Monday to find out what was decided on your application, because they're closed tomorrow. Any waiver involving construction, new dwellings, additions, alterations requires an as-built prior to an issuance of a certificate of zoning compliance and a certificate of occupancy. Okay. We're going to open the administrative session first, which we're going to do the approval of the minutes of Thursday. Oh, that's because it's a long time ago. May 7th, 2025. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Second, Joe. We can vote on the minutes. Is everyone okay with the minutes? Say aye.
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 Okay, the minutes are approved. Okay, now we're going to open up the public session. So our first application is 50 Hamlet Hill Road, map 299, parcel 273B, petition. I really don't want to could you tell me your name so I don't say it incorrectly?
My name is Shiva.
Oh, but the application is in the name of?
Shiva Ramanan.
It says here Balasu Branian.
Oh, that's my wife's
Can
name.
you say that for me?
Bala Subramanian.
Thank you. For a variance to zoning regulations, section 3.5.1, to increase the total lot coverage from 15%, currently 12.5%, proposing 15.9%. Permission to construct a two-story addition, premises R3 zone. Hi.
Hi, my name is Shiva. The proposal is to get an additional garage and also have like a prayer room at the back. So I have two small children, like 1-year-old and 5-year-old. And I believe giving them some additional space and a prayer room will kind of help them. So that's the proposal, and Lucas can help us with the technical detail.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Lucas Papageorge. I am a builder contractor that Siva hired to help him with this project. I also, for the record, I built the house originally a couple years back. The proposal is asking for a 15-foot by 45-foot addition to the existing house. This will have a first floor and a second floor, and one garage bay. In addition to that, that'll add a scullery kitchen, a prayer room, relocation of existing bathroom, and additional washer and dryer for the structure. The second floor will include a relocated laundry room, an additional study, a bedroom, and a full bathroom. There's no basement on this plans, even though it's kind of shows siding around. It'll be built on piers there. The homeowner is requesting the variance due to the unique and substantial topography of the property. The grade drops off nearly over 12 foot actually from the front of the house to the rear of the house, creating a pronounced elevation change that directly affects how the backyard can be accessed and used. As a result, steps and landings are required for safety and practicality access to the rear yard. The deck and stairwell area, the extra deck and stairwell area are needed to address the condition. Nearly avoids the amount of square foot we're requesting as extra. As the 0.9 is about the same size as the steps and the landing that's needed for the stairs in the back. This is a site-specific hardship that is not self-created and justifies relief that was sought. We're asking for 0.9% on the lot coverage, which equates to 190 square foot of coverage. If you have any questions, please, I'm here to answer.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
Is that deck existing?
The deck is existing, yes.
So the deck and the stairs going down to grade are already there?
Yeah, what I was trying to describe is this, so the deck is almost 13 feet off the ground, so we have to come down stairs.
But it's an existing condition?
existing
That's not part
condition.
of your application?
No.
So the 0.9% is related to the new construction?
New construction. I'm saying we wouldn't have to go over if we didn't have such a large stairwell.
Just made the addition 0.9 smaller?
True. You could
Just
make
trying
the,
to make
but
sure that-
it would restrict the garage from 15 foot. It would almost go down to like less than 11 feet. With the existing walls, you couldn't be able to open the cart
Yeah,
doors.
but you could make the shorter in the other
We
direction.
could, it would affect the roof lines if you look. I don't, it would make a tough way to build the roof lines with the step in. Doable, but it would be, architecturally, it might not be that appealing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to connect the hardship you're claiming to the actual project. And
Yes.
There seems to be a gap in between.
Okay, understand?
Okay, thank you.
Is there any other questions from the board? No? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in here or online who would like to speak in favor of this application? I'm going to try to pay close attention to online because we do have a lot of people online. Seeing none, is there anyone in the room or online who'd like to speak in opposition to this application? Okay, I don't see any. We're going to close this application. Thank you very much. We're going to move on to number 2 on our agenda, which is 235 Lovers Lane, map 126, parcel 123, petition of Skinny Dog LLC for a variance to the zoning regulations, section 3.4.1, to reduce the sum of 2 sideline setbacks from 25 feet, currently 21.9, proposing 21.9, permission to construct a second floor addition over the existing first floor, premises A's zone.
Hi, good afternoon. My name's Amy Higgins. I'm the owner of Skinny Dog Homes. And this is an existing late 1960s ranch. It's an L shape, and I simply want to build a second floor on the existing structure, which currently is about 21.9 feet in total setbacks, and I need 25. So I'm a foot and a half and a little change short on either side. But again, this is the way the house is. It's just slightly kind of cockeyed on the existing lot. So that's why it's changing it's tightening up the setback of 25 feet. So I've checked with the adjacent neighbors, spoken to all of them. They're all fine. They've signed off, all except for one person I ran into when I was over there and didn't have the paperwork. I asked her if she had a problem with it, and she would come here, and she did. But everybody else has signed off, and I'm using the existing foundation, not creating any additional first floor square footage whatsoever.
Okay, all right. Questions from the board? Okay, seeing none, hearing none from the board. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We are going to the public. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this application? Online? Anyone here to speak in opposition to this application? Online? In the room? We're going to close this application. Thank you. Okay, moving on to number 3. Sure, thanks. 385 Oakfield Road, map 182, parcel 405. Sorry. Waste time reading too many. Number 3 is withdrawn. We're going to move on. Number 4 in our application, is that what you were saying? 99 Patrick Drive, map 231, parcel 264T. Petition of Michelle DeMartino for a variance to zoning regulations 3.5.1 to increase the total lot coverage from 20%, currently 20%, proposing 21.3, permission to construct a shed premises A zone.
All right, I wrote a little speech because I get nervous. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michelle DiMartino, and I live with my husband, Anthony, and our 3 teenagers at 99 Patrick Drive, which is our forever home. I'm here to request a small variance under section 3.5.1 to increase our lot coverage from 20% to 21.3%, so we can build a modest 16 by 10 seasonal shed in our backyard. When we purchased the home back in 2007, we had an 8-month-old baby boy and 2 cars. Today we have 3 busy teenagers, 4 drivers, 4 cars, and our family uses our garage daily. The unanticipated reality of teenagers, one of whom is an aspiring car enthusiast who uses the garage daily, all of their sports equipment has completely filled our 2-car garage and our driveway. We currently have no safe or dry storage left for outdoor equipment for our pool area items. The proposed shed will be tucked on the only level area of our sloping backyard. It will be completely screened by mature trees and an existing 6-foot fence. It will be architecturally compatible with the neighborhood, featuring a gable roof, board and batten siding, and windows that match our house. We have received signed support from all our immediate neighbors, including a strong and unprompted letter from our immediate next door neighbor, who has an identical shed right over the fence line. The hardship was not created intentionally. It's simply the natural growth of our family over 2 decades in our home. We're just looking to add practical hidden storage so we can continue enjoying our backyard for years to come. We've worked hard with our surveyor and our landscape designer to keep it as minimal as possible while solving a real family need. Happy to answer any questions and appreciate your time and consideration.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Yeah, Jane has a question.
So you know the definition of hardship that is given to us as part of the application?
I do. So, I mean, the hardship is our yard is sloping, so it goes down. We use our driveway constantly. We use the garage all the time. We have a pool that we have used daily. The hardship is that we have equipment. We have yard equipment. We have pool equipment that simply needs to be housed somewhere.
So, but in terms of the hardship definition, it has to be tied to the property, not your family requirements. So tell me again what your hardship
Sure.
is.
So let me go back in my notes.
The reason I'm asking is because your lot size is compliant, squares compliant, setback flow compliant. So I'm not seeing any.
It really, the hardship was just unanticipated. I mean, when we did all of this work to our house, when we've lived here for 20 years, we weren't anticipating that we were going to need this space. The hardship is that, let's see here, it's unique to the configuration and history of the specific lot. It wasn't created intentionally, and it will not cause any negative change to the character of the neighborhood.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Okay. Oh, yes.
So what about a smaller shed? A lot of sheds are
Sure.
under 100 square feet. You're looking for 160 square feet.
Basically, it lines up with the back of our pool aesthetically. It would look presentable. It gives us more storage space to put the equipment that we need to put in there. And we're already over the variance at this point, what we're asking, so I think asking for a tiny bit more that fits our needs is,
I mean, you're looking for 1.3% over the coverage. And I guess you're right at the coverage ratio with the current property?
correct.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, so they couldn't do a smaller shed, right?
Wouldn't matter.
Right, they would need.
It doesn't, yeah.
Because they're max.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Thank you very
Great,
much.
thank you very much, appreciate your time.
Is there anyone in the room or online who
Oh,
would
sorry.
like to speak in favor of this application? Anyone here in the room who'd like to speak in opposition to this application? None and none? Okay, we're going to close this application. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
And I do
Okay,
have, sorry, that additional letter from my neighbor did come in as well, so do you have that? Excellent. From Linda Gardner?
Did you send it to me?
She said she handed it to you.
Me?
So that's what Linda Gardner is her name?
Oh, yes, sorry, yes, she did.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
I
you
have,
the
I do
letter.
have it, yes,
Okay.
sorry. Thank you for.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, so number 5 on our agenda is continued
Correct.
to 9/3/2026. Okay, we are on to number 6, which is 123 Colony Street, map 128.
122.
122, sorry. 122 Colony Street, map, why am I trying to put no glasses? Map 128, parcel 224, petition of Bernard P. Izzo Jr. for a variance of the zoning regulation, section 3.5.1, to increase the total lot coverage from 20%, currently 24.04, proposing 27.62. Permission to construct a rear deck.
At least it was a good song. At least it was good walk-up music. Wasn't bad at all.
Well, obviously, I'm not Bernie Izzo. I am Kathy Walsh representing Bernard P. Izzo Jr. And thank you for hearing his petition. Bernard purchased this home in December of 2025. He has since renovated it. The outside, he has resided it. He's gutted the entire interior. He has stayed within the original footprint of the home. What he'd like to do now is add a small deck to the back. He took away an existing porch on the back and some Bilko doors. And what I'd like to do is just put a deck, as you see up here. It's 12 by 20. The setback, it's 8 feet off of the side setback, which is an improvement from what the home is, which was at 4 feet. The house was built in 1925, so it's pre-existing, non-conforming, and predated zoning. So if this home, it's at a 53.3% deficit on lot size. And if this home were on a regulation size lot, well, then he'd be at 1,875 square feet coverage. He is not, it's smaller than that, so we're asking for relief for the small lot size, which is pre-existing non-conforming. And that's it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Questions from the board? Any questions? No? No? Too fast? Did anyone? Okay, I don't think there's any questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Is there anyone here online who'd like to speak in favor of this application? Anyone here or online who'd like to speak in opposition to this application? No and no, we're going to close this application. Thank you very much. Okay, we are moving on. I know I'm going to screw this up too. Number 7 on our agenda, which is 234 Birch Road, map 138, parcel 157. Petition of Joni Sanchez for a variance to the zoning regulations 3.4.1 to reduce the rear line and sum of 2 sideline setbacks from 30 feet and 25 feet, currently 59.8 and 30.6, proposing 25.8 and 24.3. And section 3.5.1 to increase the total lot coverage and floor area from 20% and 40%, currently 25.5 and 33, proposing 29.7 and 44.2%. Permission to construct a 1 and 2-story addition, premises A zone.
He's online.
Oh, which one?
I'm online.
Okay.
Michael Black. This is Michael Black. I'm the agent for Joni Sanchez. I did the plans for the house. We're planning this project in multiple stages, so we're trying to do the best route we can. But for the appeals, our lot, we have a non-conforming lot. It's both smaller and not as wide as the regulations. We're 66 feet wide, where the regulation spec is 75 feet. And our lot is about 20%. It's 9,750 is existing, and we're down at 7,700 square feet. So they're asking to put a front porch on where our lot coverage takes off and widen the width of their garage. That's where we were falling for asking for our setbacks. They have a tiny, tiny garage that you can't even get a car in. They're looking to build an addition to extend their dining room, which is over an existing porch right now in the rear of the house. And in the future, they second floor master bedroom above the existing family room in the back. We tried to keep the additions as small as possible and just to make the house a little bit more livable and reflect the charm of the neighborhood.
So, Mr. Black, I'm sorry, I needed you to say your home address. Would you mind doing that for the record?
Yeah, okay. It's Michael Black, and my home address is 867 Riverside Drive in Fairfield.
Okay, thank you. Okay, questions from the board? A lot of people have their calculators out. Katie, do you have a question? You don't? Joe? No. Okay, there are no questions from the board. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak in favor of this application? Online? No? Is there anyone here who'd like to speak in opposition to this application? Here, online? No, this application is closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to move on to number 8 on our agenda. We're moving on to 245 Range Road, map 244, parcel 51. Petition of Giovanni Galbo and Jessica Fulena for a variance to the zoning regulations, section 3.4.1 A and B, to reduce the street line and sideline setbacks from 50 and 25, currently 51 and 27.9, proposing 41.8 and 22.2. And section 3.4.3 to reduce the side setback for an accessory structure from 10 feet, proposing 7.3 feet. Permission to construct an in-ground pool and equipment premises AA zone.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Members of the board, for the record, my name is John Fallon. I'm pleased to be here representing Gio Galbo and Jessica Fulena. First thing I want to say is that Gio and Jessica had some very time-sensitive surgery that had to be scheduled for today. That is why she is not there. Gio was going to try to join us depending on the timing of that. But I just want to let you know they very much appreciate your consideration and time on the application and would otherwise have been here. Coming in from the parking lot today, I'm reminded at one time in 1976 when they asked Bob Dole why he wanted to be vice president, and he said because it's indoor work and no heavy lifting. So I think it's all good we're inside today. There's an existing vinyl pool on the property that was constructed decades ago by a prior owner. The liner of that pool is near its end of its useful life, and they've been advised by Tim Meehan, who's here with me today of Meehan Pools, that any attempt to possibly repair that liner could result in likely unforeseen but important structural issues. So they decided that repair of the existing pool was not the way to go, and they therefore made a determination to move forward with the construction of the new and higher quality pool as designed by Tim and will be installed, subject to your approval, by Meehan Pools. Let me talk to you a little bit about the property because it has very significant underpinnings relative to the hardship requirement. As you can see, it is a unique triangular shape, which it does materially impact the location of the proposed new pool, or for that matter, even in the existing pool. Secondly, and relative to the setback requests, it is a corner lot bordered by Range Road to the north and Flintlock Road to the east. And finally, it's a legally protected pre-existing non-conforming lot with respect to lot area, having only 26,799 square feet, whereas in the zone, the AA zone, 43,560 square feet is required. And it's also non-conforming to the lot shape square requirements, having 125 feet rather than the required 135. And then, again, that relates directly to the setbacks. The variances, as read by the chair, are a variance of the street line setback, 341A, of the sideline setback as well, 341D, and then for purposes of the pool pad, a variance of section 3.43 for purposes of that accessory structure. So, looking at your statutory standard, Connecticut General's 8-6, first thing we have to look at is will the proposal substantially affect in a negative manner the comprehensive zoning plan? And then you look at whether or not there are unique circumstances relative to the lot that support a finding of hardship. With regard to the first part of the test, obviously, I cite the Egan case, which says that if the use to be made of the property once the variance is granted is a permitted use in the zone, then that satisfies the first part of the test. Obviously, we're not going to change the use of the property. It will remain a single-family residence. As I said before, the property has already been improved with an in-ground swimming pool for many decades, and the replacement with a new, higher quality in-ground pool will be consistent with the past use of the property. It's also should be noted that the work proposed, and I'll comment on this further in a minute, will actually reduce the existing nonconformity of the property, notwithstanding the limited lot size. The current coverage is 14.3%, and as a result of the proposed improvements, the removal of certain other improvements, et cetera, our coverage will be reduced to 12.3%. The Geo and Jessica went to their neighbors, and we obtained from them our approvals. And I'm just looking for all of them here. Yeah, they're all, yes. So I will pass these down to you.
Surgery.
Do you want copies of these, or just give them to the chair?
Well, just, do you have an original for Tara, and then we
Yeah.
could just have copies? That'd
Yeah.
be great. And then we could just pass them down.
Okay. Okay, and I'll pass these down. So as far as the hardship argument goes, classic hardship, really. First of all, we have the situation where, in accordance with the case law I cite in my material, the Connecticut Supreme Court has recognized that the unique shape and configuration of a lot establishes a basis for a granting of hardship with regard to setbacks. We clearly have that here. Secondly, it's a corner lot, bounded by Range Road to the north and Flintlock Road to the east, and the Connecticut case law I cite there also says that such a finding where a lot is a corner lot establishes a basis for granting setback variances of the kind that we seek. Lastly, and independent of the hardship argument, I cite in my material the cases that go for the proposition that if you have a situation where a granting of a variance request will actually reduce an existing nonconformity, that provides an independent basis for the granting of the variance. And as I said, that is the case here, where we will in fact be reducing the existing nonconforming coverage from 14.3% to 2.1%. So that's really it. There's a pool there now. Family would like to replace it with a modern, up-to-date pool. They're not overbuilding the property. They're actually reducing the number of the amount of coverage as designed by Tim. It's a beautiful new pool. As you can see, it's going to be attractive in design, and we feel that it meets the standards of 8-6 while also, as I say, reducing the existing nonconformity. So we'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. I appreciate your kind consideration.
Any questions from the board? No? Anyone? No questions.
I'll take that. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone here or online who'd like to speak in favor of this application? Anyone here or online who'd like to speak in opposition to this application? None. Hearing none, we're going to close this application. We are now moving on. Are you guys, you're going to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Okay, just.
Are you missing me already?
No,
Or
no.
like? Thank you, guys.
I just want to give people time to leave, so when your application is called, okay. All right, number 9 on our agenda, which is 1001 Hulls Farm Road, map 246, parcel 27. Petition of 1001 Hulls Farm Road LLC for variance to zoning regulation, section 3.4.1, to reduce the street line setback from 60, currently 31.6, proposing 46. Permission to construct a second floor addition, premises AAA zone.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairwoman. Good afternoon, members of the commission. Good afternoon. My name is Attorney Peter Ambrose. I'm a lawyer here in Fairfield on Kings Highway. I represent the applicants who are here, Tina and David Montani. They are presently residents at 920 Old Post Road in a small house, and they are seeking, and they've just recently purchased this house. And they have got 3 boys and 1 daughter that spend time with them, and Tina has a mother that's elderly and will need assistance moving forward. So they do need a larger space to live in. David is the owner of Carpet City and Flooring Center, which is located on Kings Highway in Fairfield. At the present time, they make this application for permission to construct and to add a second floor to an existing single-family residence as shown on the architectural plans by Tracy H. Lewis of Lewis Associates and submitted herewith. The property is located in a Residence District AAA zone. It's a pre-existing and legally protected non-conforming lot as to both lot size and shape. On March 5th, 1970, our Zoning Board of Appeals approved a variance changing the required setback from the street line from 60 feet to 30 feet for a 1-story residence. They wish to add a second story to the residence to provide ample space for their children and Tina's mother. In order to facilitate the proposed new construction to add a second floor, the applicants seek a variance of section 3.4.1A to reduce the street line setback from Cedar Road from 60 feet, presently 31.6 feet, to 46 feet from the proposed dwelling. The proposed new single-family residence will conform in all other respects with the applicable zoning regulations, and so designed by Brian St. Pierre of Insight Designs, and is aesthetically attractive and will have a positive impact on the surrounding neighborhood. In order for the Zoning Board of Appeals to grant a variance pursuant to the provisions of Connecticut General Statutes 8-6-A3, 2 conditions must be applicable. Number 1, the variance must be shown not to substantially affect the comprehensive zoning plan. And number 2, adherence to the strict letter of the zoning ordinance must be shown to cause unusual hardship unnecessary to the carrying out of the general purpose of the zoning plan. Grillo versus Zoning Board of Appeals. With regard to the first aspect of the test, it has been held that if the use to be allowed by the variance is consistent with other uses in the area and is permitted in the zone, then the first part of the test is met. Egan versus Zoning Board of Appeals. In this instance, the granting of the variance will not change the use of the lot, which will remain as a single-family residence explicitly permitted in the zone. Other than the variance for the setback from Cedar Road, no other variances are sought, and the proposed new construction will comply with all other technical requirements of the regulations. Finally, the proposed new structure as designed by Brian St. Pierre is attractive and harmonizes with the character of the neighborhood and represents a significant aesthetic enhancement to the property benefiting the surrounding area. With regard to the matter of hardship, the hardship which justifies the Zoning Board of Appeals to grant a variance must be one that originates in the zoning ordinance and arises directly out of the application of the ordinance to unique circumstances pertaining to the lot in question. That's Archibald versus Rodwell. In essence, the applicant must show that because of some peculiar characteristic of the property, strict application of the zoning regulations would result in an unusual hardship. With regard to the matter of hardship as it relates to the request for the street line setback, the controlling legal fact is that the lot in question is a valid and legally protected non-conforming lot as it relates to both current lot shapes and lot requirements. As previously indicated, the present requirements of the residence AAA zone establishes a contemplated minimum lot area of 87,120 square feet. I'll go on to state that, in summary, the new single-family residence, as proposed by David Montani and Tina Montani, is attractive in design and harmonizes with the character of the neighborhood. It will represent a significant architectural enhancement to the property benefiting the surrounding area. A legal hardship is established with regard to the variance requested based upon the analysis referenced above. For all of the above referenced reasons, it is respectfully requested that this application be granted. We have, and I'd like to circulate, if I may, a design, a sketch of where their house is. And I'll give this to Matt, and perhaps he can. So David Montani has polled all of his adjacent neighbors, and I have on the right-hand side of this sketch the name and address of each one of the neighbors. And there's only one neighbor, the neighbor at 990 Halls Highway, that we had no response to. David had met with him, but he's had no response. Everybody else was in favor of the application and concurs in that they feel it will be a lovely enhancement to the area. I know that David, do you have anything to say that you'd like to add? David?
At this time.
Could you just, sorry, name and address?
Sure. David Montani, 920 Old Post Road, Fairfield.
Thank you.
So obviously the reason why we are looking for to be granted this variance is to add 3 bedrooms on top, not expanding the original footprint of the house in order to fit the remaining members of our family, as well as in-laws. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we will move on to questions from the board. Are you ready for that?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Are you building a new house? As you refer to a new single-family house?
No, it's the second floor. Just a second, we're adding a second floor to an existing home.
Okay, because like at least twice in your description, you're talking about a new single-family house.
Yeah, I just meant the second floor will be new. But other than that, it's an existing single-family residence.
So here though, in the application, it says second floor.
Right, but I'm just
Okay,
reading
on there it says.
what he said
Okay.
today, the proposed new single-family resident, but it's not. It's not a new house. That was my.
That's your question. Okay.
And one more thing, can you just couple sentences, the hardship is?
The hardship is an existing hardship. It's the setback. The house is non-conforming. And the ZBA passed around 20 years ago a variance allowing the existing hardship to be there. And what we're doing, we're putting a second floor onto the house.
If I read, just correct me if I'm wrong, because stuff happens. You're also ameliorating a measure of nonconformity with the new construction, are you not?
We are, yes.
What is that?
They're going from 31.6 to 46? Proposing 46?
Yeah, that's very
They're
confusing.
not.
Right.
31.6 will continue on the first floor. It's 46 on the second floor. And that was going to be my question.
But it's where the property's measured to in the proposed condition of the house. So the setback doesn't stay at 31.6, it becomes 46.
The first floor setback is 31.6 and the second floor will be 46.
But can I go to Matt on this? Because Matt, there's only one setback on a piece of property, so what is going to be the setback?
Required setback is 60 feet.
Right, and what are they asking for?
They're asking to do an addition that's 46 feet from the property line.
And that's where they stand today, though.
They stand at 31.6.
But so they're not going straight up?
No, they're going on a second floor, but the second floor doesn't start until 46 feet from the street line.
But the 31.6 will remain after the construction.
They're not touching that side of the
Right,
house.
but it will remain. It's not
And that
being
was given permission
ameliorated.
to be there. They got a variance for that.
Right, but it's not being ameliorated.
No.
Okay.
The first floor.
Hey, Katie, can you talk louder? 'Cause we
Sorry,
don't
no, I'm
really-
just trying to get my head around it.
Yeah,
So
me too.
if the first floor is 31.6, how is the second floor 46? Is it not a straight
I
front?
can explain. So if you can look at the graphic.
Look at the drawing here.
So we're basically dividing the house into the second floor, and the second floor addition has a step in
Right.
from the first floor that starts at 46 feet. So that becomes the setback from that side of the house.
No, the setbacks stay the way they are. What they're asking for, they can't do the second floor without coming before this board because it's less than 60 feet to the street line. So the existing house is a one-story structure. The setback to the street line on that one side is 31 feet.
We're talking about the front, we're talking about the front street line.
Well, there's the two street lines there, but the one of the street line, both of them have to be 60 feet. So one of the street lines, as it curves up Cedar Road, is less than 60 feet.
So one of the sides, because it's corner lot, one of the sides, I get it. So
There are
like
two
this-
street
this
lines
part
there.
here.
No, I totally get that, but
Yeah.
just in the
Got it.
in the years that we
The ranch-style house is staying in place, and they're building a second floor, but that second floor starts less than 60 feet to the street line. It starts at 46.
Because you can see it on
I'll
the
grant that
side.
100%. The way that
We have two street lines.
the way that I
If you didn't, it's still.
the way that I always thought this was written was that the existing, so it would just, the way that I thought it would be written is that their setbacks would be unchanged. So they're at 31.6. The way that I normally read these things, I understood. I'm just saying that it's at 31.6. They're not changing the first floor setback. So the setback remains at 31.6. So it would be an unchanged.
The way that I have it
setback.
written is 60 feet required,
I got it. Yep.
currently 31, proposing 46.
Right, which to me just reads as an amelioration of
It's not
a
removing it. It's
hardship.
just-
It's not
The
removing.
new, the new part is
The
46.
new part is 46.
Yes.
I get that. I've never seen it.
Sorry, it's just that this is when we have time to ask Matt questions, not during
course,
deliberations,
no.
so we just want to be clear that we
Absolutely.
understand it. Okay.
If it was an amelioration, it also,
And they have to come before us
That's right.
because they're working on a non-conforming. Okay.
yeah, pre-existing
So is there any
non-conforming.
other questions from the board? Seeing none, hearing none.
No.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your
Well,
consideration.
I just have to, sorry. Is there anyone here or online, I'm sure you guys could do this for me by now, who'd like to speak in favor of this application? No? No? Is there anyone here or online who would like to speak in opposition to this application? No? No, this application is closed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice Fourth.
You too. Thank
Can we just pause for a minute? I want to bring the rest of the people.
Yes, I think if we're going to pause. Do we need to pause?
Pete, have a Fourth, okay?
We're in a brief pause.
Can we actually use 5 minutes or? I just have to see if I'm gonna not have a car for the weekend.
Okay, we need to give a member of the board 5 minutes, so we're going to take a 5-minute break.
I don't even get up, I just have to make a phone.
The public hearing is called back to order. We are on number 10 of our agenda, which is 146 Chelsea Street, map 229, parcel 167. Petition of for variance of zoning regulation, section 3.5.1A, to increase the total lot coverage from 20%, currently 23.1, proposing 24.7, permission to construct a one-story addition, premises A zone.
Chairman, members of the commission, my name is Raymond Rizzio with an office 10 Sasko Hill Road, Fairfield, Connecticut. I'm here before representing Raymond Forehand. His that name may be familiar as their son was the silver Olympic winner in this winter's Olympics, first one from Fairfield. The Forehands bought this home back in 2020. This home was a nightmare. It was under foreclosure for multiple years. It was an eyesore to the community. They ended up buying the property from the bank. Ray met with met with a lot of his neighbors when he bought it and assured them that he was not going to turn this house into a McMansion. Had the ability to go full-blown, 2 stories up. There was some concern on neighbors blocking their view of the river. It's a corner lot, so it affects the view of about 3 or 4 properties. What Mr. Forehand did was probably one of the best renovations of a home that I've seen in Fairfield in years. The home is basically, this is the home. It looks like this. I'll leave this to you. It is tastefully done. It has become actually probably one of the nicest homes in the entire area. This is in the Somerset area, right along the Mill River. As you know, with COVID and everything else, Mr. Forehand liked to have an office at home. We literally have I think almost less than 1.5% coverage requirement. He'd like to put it on the first floor. What's nice about this home, it does not need any other variances for setback. It doesn't need any other variances with regard to floor area ratio. In fact, if he wanted, he probably has about another 900 square feet that he could go up on the second floor. The problem with going up on the second floor is multiple things. You've got these beautiful roof lines, beautiful home, doesn't overpower the lot. It's a corner lot. It impacts the views of the people to the right of him, to the people to the left of him. And like I said, one of the things he mentioned to the people that want to grow. So what he's done is there's an area that's basically now concrete. As you can see, it's a very small area right here. He wants to put in a very small 150 square foot addition for a home office. It's 10 by 15.5 feet. I'll show you the area. What Mr. Forehand is a very talented builder and designer, and he had a basically a rendering, not even a rendering, this is what it will look like. So basically where you see the wall, and you see here, which is current, so current is here. The building will basically go from here, from where the door is, to the home and connect, and basically fill this little portion that you see on the site plan. So this is exactly what it'll look like. The wall that's there already connecting to the house is about 5 feet. He'll go up another 5 feet to 10 feet, and it'll basically sit perfectly within this little, as you see, vacant portion of his property. So we'll square away the home. I basically I went and took a picture. This is what the home looks like from different angles. As you can see, to go up a full 10 feet to put an office there is going to ruin the look, the design of the home, and once I said, impact a bunch of neighbors. This is the area where it's going to go. So you basically have, this is that wall that you see. This is that area which is behind the wall. And so it's going to be behind this wall, within the current tree line, and basically have no impact on anybody. In fact, if you can see there, hard to tell which is the rendering and which is going to be real because it fits in so well. It's a perfect spot for it. Doesn't impact anything. And as I said, will not be any more visible or create any more visual difficulties for any of the people in the neighborhood. So in looking at this, you have to, once again, you have your two-prong test. Two-prong test talks about, does it meet with the comprehensive plan? It's still going to be a single family. It's not asking for anything outside of what the regulations would permit, except for this very small increase in coverage. And so, as I said, there's no effect on a comprehensive plan. What happens now is you talk about what's unusual about this property that would affect the granting of this variance. First of all, it's a corner lot that impacts numerous properties. Secondly, it's the most logical place for this lot to go, for this portion to go. Third, we'll agree to a condition of approval, because I know you're always concerned when you grant a coverage variance that this addition will remain one story, so that you don't have to worry about us taking advantage and throwing something up in the future above it. It's going to stay one story. We're trying to have this house, he spent an incredible amount of time to make this house fit in the neighborhood. To throw something up that doesn't make any sense, or throw something that's contrary to what his neighbors were promised, just doesn't really make any sense. And it truly would be a hardship that's unusual, given the unique design of the home and the way it applies by basis of its corner lot. There's no setback variances required. Floor area ratio, we're only adding 150 feet. We could add 900 feet if we wanted. And it's something that fits in perfectly with the neighborhood. Therefore, I believe it's a very unusual circumstance that leads to this request for a variance that doesn't affect the general neighborhood. And for all those reasons, we request an approval. Now, we went and spoke to the neighbors. I think I have a picture. Take this off. That's an overhead view of the property. As you can see, it's really going to fit in this, just in this little corner. That's the floor plan, which you've seen. And these are all the neighbors that have approved. I represent the owner of 184, that's Luigi Giansante. His wife's been in the hospital. I've represented him. He called me, he said, look, we can't be there. I'm taking care of my wife, and if time to sign it, you can represent with your own authority, that I've given you authority to represent, that we're very much in favor of this application. The folks on this side have a view of the river. The folks on this side have a view of the river. Neither would like impacted. Even the property over here has a view across. It would just be an absolute shame. I think it'd be a hardship on the neighborhood, on top of that, to make him take advantage of his coverage going up versus the de minimis and lack of impact that this very small variance would have on this property. So I don't see that in any effect that there's any negativity to it. I think the hardship would be if he were to abide by your strict enforcement of your regulations, it would lead him upstairs, which would actually create more of a hardship for the properties that surround him. And I think ruin what I think is a very unique property. And that's basically it. If you go by the house, or if you've been by the house, you'll see it fits in perfectly. I think that rendering that Mr. Forehand prepared will show you how, if anything, it'll do is enhance the home versus any negativity, and we're getting no closer. We don't require no side yard setbacks or any setbacks that would be affected based on this approval. And I offer that condition because I want to show you the sincerity of our client has, that there's no other game plan to gain coverage for the future. For all those reasons, we would respectfully request that you grant this application. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board?
So in terms of the parlance of zoning board of appeals, what is the hardship?
The hardship is the uniqueness of the property, that the uniqueness, I believe, of the home, which is in where it's situated as relates to other properties in the neighborhood, the fact that it would create a visual impact on other properties that currently enjoy a view of the Mill River, and that it will have no detrimental effect on anything surrounding it. I think is really with the hardship. If you strictly enforce the regulations, he could put 1,000 square feet on this, almost 1,000 square feet on this property, but it would go up and be a detrimental effect on the property. And that probably comes out at what I would say, which uniqueness of it is the corner lot, that it affects the view of at least 3 homes.
So this is a house that already exceeds the coverage area of the lot. You're asking us to allow you to put more coverage than even exists now, which in and of itself exceeds the standard. I don't see the hardship.
Well, here's the difference. We're not here with two requests for variance. Typically, when you see that, you would see a request for variance for coverage, and you see a request for variance for floor area ratio. We're choosing the less harmful variance and then offering a condition so that you don't know that we're gaining any additional coverage other than what we would already have. So that to me is essential. Now, if we're here and we just say we want more than we're entitled to, meaning we can make a bigger house, basically because of the corner lot, because of the views impacted, because of the way this property is situated and has been developed, is what makes it unique. We can make this a 4,000 square foot house, and there would be no benefit to that. And as I said, we're offering up a condition to make sure that this is not gaining us anything more than we currently have. But what it's doing is, and I've sat on the board for years, we're taking the box and rearranging the box to make it so that it conforms better with the neighborhood. If I were here with a different ask and said I need a 1.5% coverage and I need another 500 square feet, 3% which would convert into a 3% of floor area ratio, then we're just asking for more than we're entitled to. In this instance, we're asking to be able to improve our property in a manner that doesn't have a negative effect on other properties or the uniqueness of this home, which on the corner lot, because of the way it's situated, impacts numerous properties in the neighborhood. And so you're right in some sense, but I would think it'd be very hard for me with a straight face to say, hey, look, but I want more. We're not getting any more square footage than we're already entitled to. In fact, we're taking a lot less than we would be if we wanted to blow the roof off and then impact all of our neighbors, and no one could say a thing. But we're here, we've gone to our neighbors, we've basically fulfilling our promises that we gave them when we bought the property back in 2020, that we would keep this property, which is vital to the neighborhood because it sits on a corner and these homes have views of the river, that it would not impact their views, and we do it in a very tasteful manner, not throw a McMansion in front of these three homes. And that's what I think is unique about this property. It would not be unique if I'm here asking to increase my floor area ratio, because I'm looking for 150 feet when I could have 900 square feet.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Go ahead.
Okay, back to hardship.
Correct.
Your lot size is compliant.
Yes.
The square is compliant.
Correct.
The setbacks are currently compliant.
Correct.
The hardship that's tied to the property, you're saying, is because you're entitled to do something?
No, the hardship is the impact that it would create. I mean, if you want to talk about the uniqueness of the lot and the uniqueness of our hardship as relates to the general neighborhood, so that this doesn't apply to the general neighborhood, because our property is effectively 1.5 stories, and although we could have a full-blown 2 stories, we're asking for 150 square feet instead of 900 square feet, placing a condition on it that doesn't allow us to get any more than we're currently done, is a way that manages this property so that manages the situation so that it's so that it doesn't cause an impact on other properties, and frankly doesn't destroy, I think, what is a spectacular designed home.
You're suggesting that it's binary. Either you do this or you get to do that. There's a third option, which is you do nothing. I mean,
and why is that? Why would that be an option when you're giving somebody has the chance to improve their property, but they have the chance, and you as an architect would say, look at that, look at your 2 options that you have.
architecturally, it's lovely, but it doesn't meet the criteria for hardship.
Well, I disagree with you. I think you've got 150 square feet on already improved land that doesn't impact any other properties, and I don't know how you approve many variances if you're taking that strict of an approach and not taking the unique circumstances of properties into account. I mean, I don't know where we're going.
Any other questions from the board? Okay, we're going then to go to the public. Is there anyone here who would like to speak in favor of this application or online? Is there anyone here who'd like to speak on this? Okay, we're going to close this application. Thank you very much.
That's inside. I submitted these. I'll leave these with you.
Thank you. Okay, number 11 on our agenda. 402 Sasko Hill Road, map 231, parcel 396. Petition of Edward Sonnenschein Jr. for a variance of the zoning regulations, section 3.4.1, to reduce the street line setback from 60 feet, currently 36.7, proposing 36.7, permission to construct a one-story garage.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, members of the board. For the record, my name is John Fallon. I'm here representing Tammy Smith and Edward Sonnenschein, who just have come in. There they are. They're sitting next to our architect, who I'll introduce shortly, David Parker. This application requests permission, as we'll elaborate on, to construct, as shown on the plans we submitted, a new 26 by 26 two-car garage that will replace an existing and extremely small garage that's basically and largely inaccessible at their 92-year-old residence, which was built in 1934. As you'll hear from David in a minute, we've constructed a proposed garage structure that's going to be in addition to and align with the face of an existing building and connect to the main residence by way of a covered open colonnade. To accommodate that, we do seek a variance of section 3.4.1A to reduce the street line setback to 36.7 feet, but it is important to point out that the proposed new garage placement will not increase, as a matter of practicality, the already existing nonconformity with respect to the street setback, which is already 36.7 feet. The existing substandard garage was obviously not built 92 years ago to accommodate vehicles and of today's standards. It's not functional as a garage in today's vehicles, and in fact, there is an existing entrance approach that David may elaborate on a little bit that has a turning radius to the garage, which, to say the least, is extremely difficult and dangerous to maneuver. Without belaboring it and with no intent to defame Tammy's driving skills, it's in winter weather, it becomes a challenge that sometimes cannot be met. And this is just, I didn't make copies of these, but I'll let you pass them down. These are just an example of some significant damage she had to her car this winter as she sought to traverse the topography, the geometry, and what have you. So it's really not a safe condition, and it's certainly not a functional condition. But before I talk about the legal standards that apply to the variance request, I'd like David Parker to come forward, just give you a brief overview of how we propose to improve and handle that situation in an architecturally sensitive manner.
Thank you, John, and thank you, commissioners, for allowing us to present this to you.
Sorry, name and address?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm David Parker, architect based in Southport. And what you're seeing, if I might go over, Matt, I don't know if you have other pictures. This is the from Google Earth, which is taken above eye level. This is what's existing, and this is the existing outbuilding. That's the existing garage that you do a hairpin turn to get into. This is again higher than eye level. What that roof would look like. But Matt, if we could scroll up. Yeah. Further up. Yeah. So and further up yet.
You want just that?
I want the plan. So this is the current garage, and so the way Harbor Road is Sasko Hill Road is here. So the driveway, it's very steep. The driveway comes in like this, and then you do a hairpin turn like that to get in, and there's a retaining wall coming out here. So the proposal is to construct the new garage here, which is an extension of the existing structure that was in that location. The setback goes all the way back to here, but what I should note is that because the grade drops off so quickly, it actually drops off more than a floor and more than 1.5 stories from street level to behind, and it's a 20% grade going down. So we looked at trying to put the garage behind, and you would actually have to have mounted vehicles to get up and down the road to get to the lower level. And so even though we studied that, and I showed them options, it was impossible to regrade it, and also because of the setbacks. But if you go back to the survey, there's actually a lot. The lot is quite large, and Harbor Road's here, but you can only really easily access up here, which is why I'm sure Cameron Clark, who designed the house in 1934, put it so close to the road. And so it's that hairpin turn and the very steep incline that we couldn't find any other place to put it. The only other place that where we could make the turning radii work was over here in this corner, which might have been a little easier to move than what we're showing you, but would be even further in the setback and would increase the degree of nonconformity. And so that's why we're proposing what we're proposing to you. I think that sort of covers it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, David. I don't think I have to say anything else. Thank you, David. So let's just take that testimony from David and look at statutory standards, section 8-6. You have to make two findings. One, that nothing is being proposed here that is inconsistent with the comprehensive zoning plan, and that there are elements before you with regard to the property in question that satisfy a hardship standard as recognized by our courts. Clearly, I cite the Egan case, if you're going to use the property after the variance is granted in a manner that is consistent with the permitted uses in the zone, that satisfies the first part of the test. We're seeking to improve the situation as a matter of function and safety. There's already a house there, there's already a garage here. We just want to have a garage that's functional for us. The clients have taken great care. David has taken great care to come up with something that absolutely harmonizes with this beautiful historic Cameron Clark home, and at the same time, has no adverse impact with respect to surrounding properties. So we're very happy about that. Tammy and Ted went to all their neighbors. There's 6 separate petitions signed here by the neighbors. Obviously, we didn't think that anyone would have any issues with what we proposed, and they did not. So, talking about hardship, classic hardship, and David laid the groundwork for that. First of all, I cite in my material all the cases that indicate that topographical conditions on the property involved in the application provide a proper basis for hardship. I've never seen a property that is more suited to those cases because, as David pointed out, there's a drop that is extremely significant and limits, as you can see from the site plan, the ability to locate improvements in any manner other than pretty much what we have pursued. So the unique topography, I think, is one factor that establishes it. The other cases that I cite in my material are Connecticut Supreme and Appellate Court cases that say that long-held historic location of a pre-existing non-conforming structure on a lot can create a proper basis for a finding of hardship. This is a classic example when you read those cases of what they're talking about. This house was built almost a century ago. It was built where it was built. It has existed as a pre-existing non-conforming structure to the street setback for almost a century, and therefore to accomplish a functional garage, especially with the site limitations, getting back to the topography that David detailed, there's no way we can put the garage and not be within the setback. But what we took great care to do was to make sure that we designed it so that it would be aligned with the current building and will not in any way increase the existing nonconformity of the setback. So the two hardships are topographical conditions on the property and the location of the legally protected pre-existing nonconforming structure. Summary, all we're trying to do here is create a beautiful architecturally designed garage that will allow proper function in the 21st century, safe function, and that we can accomplish here. We think we satisfy the standards of Connecticut General Statutes 8-6 due to the topography and the location of the existing structure. And we'll be able to address what's not only a functional issue, but an important safety issue for our clients. So be pleased to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, questions from the board?
So the existing outbuilding that's there, that's an accessory building, correct?
Correct.
So are you increasing the size of this accessory structure, or by connecting it is that now making all of that part of the primary structure?
It's not, there's no internal connection to the
This is
accessory.
an open walkway.
It's an open walkway.
So are there any variances required to increase the size of the accessory structure?
No.
No.
Is that correct? Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
So number one, currently the street setback is 36.7.
Correct.
What you're proposing has a setback of 36.7.
Correct.
So nothing's changing.
Correct.
And am I also reading your survey correctly that you actually are somewhat, you're a non-conforming lot because you don't have the square on the lot?
Correct.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Okay, none? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Is there anyone here who'd like to speak in favor of this application, in here or online? Is there anyone here who'd like to speak in opposition to this application, here or online? Okay, seeing none, this application is closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll let them exit, and we will move on to number 12 on our agenda. Okay, number 12, 34 Fieldcrest Drive, map 77, parcel 204. Petition of Raman Sinha and Shalina Sinha for a variance to the zoning regulations, section 3.5.1, to increase the total lot coverage from 20%, currently 19.17, proposing 22.5. Permission to construct a rear elevated sunroom and a deck with stairs, premises A zone. I believe that our applicants are online. Just introduce yourselves, names and address, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chairperson and Board of Members. My name is Raman Sinha, and I'm Shalini Sinha, my wife, by my side. So we're the owner of 34 Fieldcrest Drive since 2009. So about completing 17 years in this house. So now we have our existing deck as you can see here in the map. This is A2 survey from Richard Plain, who did the original survey back when I bought my house. So I reached out to the same individual to get the proposed and as is and proposed. So as you can see, we have our existing deck on the right side in the map on the, and then the stair that we are going to get rid of it. And going to replace this with a sunroom with an adjacent deck and the stair, as you can see here. So we have, as you can see, this A2 survey, we have conservation easement on the back that you see the rails there, just below number 27 that you can see. So we are constrained by pending there. So the request is for lot coverage, building lot coverage variance 2.5%. And we are keeping all our variance intact. Yeah, this is the plan and elevation that I got from an architect that is showing the current and the proposed. So we are not violating any sort of other variance beside this, and sticking to this plan. I've shared this plan with my neighborhood, both side and my front. They have signed off on this proposal. And as you can see, this is elevated, this is a raised ranch type of house. And so now we have the situation in the family had changed. Now I got my in-laws who live downstairs. And now my family is constrained by a little space that we need. During winter, we cannot get outside, just single level that we cannot have my additional family. So during summer, when we go on the deck, my neighbor in the pool, we get constant restricting ourselves inside the house. So that violates the privacy. So by getting this, we are improving the character of the house without violating the air and light or any other for the neighborhood. So as you can see, the last page that was signed by the neighbor, Mr. Selka, who has the pool just with the adjacent deck I have right now. And Jennifer is next on the right side, and the Julie right in front of my house. So with this, now we have when it comes to hardship, I mentioned about those conservation easement. Also, we are not, setback remains intact. We are not violating any setback. It remains intact. And it goes very well with the character of my neighborhood. We don't want to extend too far and not trying to get closer to the setback and, maintaining the property line the way it is.
Okay, thank you.
Questions?
Questions from the board. Jane?
How does the conservation easement affect your application? It's not clear because you're still using the same lot area, right? You don't subtract, or are you subtracting the area that's in the conservation easement from your lot size?
Yeah, so as you can see, just behind easement, we are losing that much space. So if no matter how we do the orientation, we get that variance impacted. But by keeping the lot like this, we have enough. We are keeping away from the conversion easement line, keeping close to the existing line. And second thing, we are keeping the character of neighborhood. We are keeping the privacy with neighborhood. If you extend far behind, it will be more on the privacy because of the pool they have. So now we have on the left side, as you can see here. So, and also the light, if we go there too far in the back, it will prevent the light and air for the neighbor on the left side. So keeping all this in mind, how minimum impact we keep, and without any adverse impact to neighborhood. And actually my neighbor was happy with this plan, and Mr. Data immediately signed, say, hey, now we got one issue resolved. Because when their family is in the pool and we cannot enjoy the deck during summer, during winter we keep ourselves restricted inside home, and we have only one floor that we could actually use. We cannot gather family, friend, more than a couple of families. So it was, and really restricted.
If you didn't have a conservation easement, you would still be here for a variance, right?
Correct. Because we need to put the safety stairs that you can see here. And also, if you go to the property, a map on the architecture diagram, you see there's a kitchen window that is coming on the way. And as a result, we need to get a sunroom little larger than, I could. But if I could be home before the window, then it becomes too tight. It does not give enough space. So that is shown in the diagram that, the next page by the architect.
Are you saying that because you have so many stairs going down, that the area that the stairs take up pushes you over that 20%?
Yeah, that pushes over, and we put all the safety, and right from the deck also, right from sunroom stairs down is also unsafe. We need some space on the deck, and then keeping the aesthetics and the neighborhood.
So it sounds like it's the topography that requires you to have all those stairs to go down that pushes you over the 20%.
Yeah, topography, and also there's a window that is coming in the middle. So that's shown in the next diagram for the building elevation and plan.
Is there Matt, could you bring up anything online that would show us elevation that you have?
There's actually elevation on the site plan.
Yeah, so he could bring it up, right?
Yeah, you can get to the next page. Next
Can you
page.
read any of that? Because I can't.
I can show you here. I can
So
zoom in.
1 foot change
See.
in elevation.
Yeah.
So the home isn't, the lot is not level?
The 1
No,
foot
it's,
change.
no,
in
there's
elevation.
some slide, that little, yeah, sloping.
Changes from 153 to 150. So it's a
it's not-
3-foot change from the front to back.
From front to back,
From
but
the back
not,
of the house to the back property line, it's a 3-foot change.
If you, let me ask you a question a different way. If you didn't need to have stairs coming down from your deck, proposed deck, would you need a variance if it was?
That will still be not as much, but yeah, there will be variance as, then as well.
So what I'm trying to ask you is, if you were to subtract the area that those stairs take up, as if the deck was there on the ground, you would not need
He
a
said he
variance?
still would.
You said you
Yeah.
would still.
I will still, but that will be less than what we currently have.
All right, that's
But I
it.
will still maintain.
Thank you.
This is student Matt. Matt, is that house, are every other variance is fine? All the other, he's in compliance with everything, side, rear,
Yes.
and it's square on the lot?
The house? Yeah.
And the house is, how big is the house?
it's in there, it's
Yeah, it's there in the, yeah.
20,
It's all
2472.
2472. And the easement, the wetlands easement is, it doesn't have anything, that is not affecting any of the calculations, correct?
You know, it's not taken out of the area.
All right, is there any other questions from the board on this application?
Yeah, if I'm looking at it right, I'm only seeing a 1 foot difference. There's the 153 that comes, or it's 153 that comes alongside of the house, and 152 that is where the steps drop off. So it's not a major change in elevation. Although they're coming from a raised first floor, and that's where the change in elevation comes, but that would be the case even if it were absolutely flat.
Okay, any other questions on this applicant?
by the board.
No? Okay, is there anyone, thank you very much. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this application? Online here? Anyone here to speak in opposition of this application? Okay, we're going to close this application. Thank you.
Thank you for opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, we are moving on to number 13. 15 Naps Park Drive, map 44, parcel 92, petition of Louis Hoyos?
Yes.
Hoyos, for a variance to zoning regulations section 3.4.1 to reduce 3 street lines and 1 rear line setback from 40, 30, 30, and 30, currently 29.4, 20.8, and 16.6, and 3.5, proposing 29.4, 20.8, 16.6, and 9.8, and Section 3.5.1 to increase the total lot coverage and floor area from 15% and 30%, currently 25.5 and 26, proposing 25.2 and 36.9, permission to construct a second floor addition and to legitimize the existing lot coverage. Premises R3 zone.
Hello, everybody. My name is Luis Hoyos Diaz. My lovely wife here, Natalie Tello. It's really simple. Our house, it's legally existing, but you see the regulations under the area are the R3, which requires each house to have at least 20,000 square feet. Our house is roughly a quarter of that, and that is the case for other houses right across our neighborhood. So that's our hardship, that we have a non-conforming lot. What really what we need to do is to build a second floor we're not going to increase a square footage there. We're just going to build plain and simple a second floor.
So we went to check on our neighbors. The only neighbor that lives around us is actually, she lives next to us, Nicole, and she was able to sign.
Okay.
The other neighbors, they don't live around us, so we sent them 2 letters explaining with the application and then with our plans explaining the situation. They haven't get back to us, but we were able to send 2 letters for them.
And we reach out to the closest neighborhoods by letter to priority before this meeting, so they were able to sign the petition. Unfortunately, we didn't hear from anybody. I think our case is more simple than the others that I've seen, so I don't have anything else to say, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Questions?
No.
So you're looking to put a second story on top of the existing first story?
That's right.
The entire footprint will be covered by the new second story?
That's right.
Okay. Compared to number 3, the next door house, which has 2 stories on it, you doing anything different than what was done in that house?
No.
All right.
Jane, do you have a question?
No, it's funny that this neighborhood requires 20,000 square foot lot.
Yeah, that's.
It is strange, and like 6 or 7 of the houses that I checked have less than.
Yeah, it's an interesting old neighborhood, but I
Yeah.
don't know why they
It's
applied
an older.
the 20,000 square foot, but that's not for me to figure out. Okay.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Nope. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Is there anyone here who'd like to speak in favor of this application here or online? Is there anyone here who would like to speak in opposition to this application here or online? No, and no, this application is closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to number 14, which
You guys
is,
can stay if you want. There's room down. Sorry.
89 Gray Street, map 79, parcel 106. Petition of 6 siblings, 89 Gray Street LLC, for a variance to zoning regulations, section 3.4.1, to reduce the rear setback from 20 feet, currently minus 1.3 feet, proposing 17.5 feet, and the sum of 2 sideline setbacks from 20, currently 9.7, proposing 9.7. In section 13.3H, 1 and 2, to construct a detached garage with an accessory dwelling unit on a non-conforming lot and reduce the sum of 2 sideline setbacks from 20 feet, proposing 15.5. Permission to construct a 1-story addition to the primary dwelling and a 2-story accessory structure for a garage and an accessory dwelling unit premises B zone.
Thank you for reading that. I'm Ryan Langdon. I live at 147 Coventry Lane, Fairfield. We've lived there since Emma was born. We moved out of the city. She's the third of the 6 siblings. This is the Langdon strategy of finding places for the kids as they graduate from college to live close to us, but not too close to us. There's other towns, but they like Fairfield's beaches, et cetera, having grown up here. So we have a few different houses like this, but other towns in Fairfield, or other towns in Connecticut. So that's the reason for the structure of the purchase this February. So what are we trying to do here? This is a super non-conforming lot. It's small, it's too small compared to what the neighborhood says it should be. It slopes about 10% from the street to the back. It's a small lot and it goes from 68 feet to 62 feet. The existing structure, with a little bit of sleuthing, I think it's probably the oldest structure in the area. The data card says built in 1905.
call it a cottage. It would be a stretch. It'd be like, medieval cottage. It's has no kitchen, has no functional bathroom, has no staircase to the basement. Sits, to the naked eye, you can see it's sitting on the property lines with a survey. You can see it's, you have to squint to see it on the property lines. So it's not surprising that it's non-conforming. So what to do with this house? We've refurbished about a house a year. This one is not as difficult as the last one we did in Wilton. So to get the architect or the architect to be able to do a lot, like a functional layout on the first floor, the idea is to simply enclose the existing deck that's there. I should say, in theory, you would think you could come forward, not that would obviously be even more obtrusive to the neighborhood, but there's ledge in front of the house that not only going like this, but there's like Central Park-like ledge sitting right in front of the house. So, the idea of pushing the existing detached garage up against the house would be a real, effort of, I'm not sure how they would do that, but so anyway, to get the first floor to have a kitchen, a bedroom, a bathroom, and stairs, that kind of, those kind of goals that you might have for a home. We can do that if we wall it and close the existing deck, which is a raised deck. The basement level has a foundation. The house was tacked onto at some point, probably in the 50s. So there's poured concrete on the right-hand side. There's a foundation down there. Talking about the deck that's on the second level, just enclosing that to gain that square footage so it doesn't change the roof line or the square of the house. I would say it doesn't change the four-wall footprint of the house. It just gives you square footage to do all those things, like have a functional first floor. So that's the request. I think that's the least intrusive request that's realistic for the house as it is. The house also has an easement that's unique to it. It's a one-house easement. The easement for plumbing and black water goes out the right side of the property, or the east side of the property. So that just if the sewer's at the street. So if the water company couldn't figure out how to get the lot to work like any other lot, then it's a pretty non-conforming lot. So it goes out the side, and then Y's into the sewer on the other side of 97 Grace. So those are the series of lot hardships. So you have size, slope, ledge. It creates an easement. So you end up with the first floor being finished. You have buildable. So why the garage, right? So you have an existing single-car garage that's there. It doesn't, it's too close to the street. Of course, it's, failing the other variance tests, but the idea is to move it back so it conforms with the setback requirement from the street, which is a real benefit to that neighborhood. I don't know if you've driven down that street, but there's cars everywhere. So I think even though this would be probably the most non-conforming lot, it'd be the only one with parking, which would be a real help to the street. So you'd have two-car garage. So if you drop a two-car garage in there, it fits with the coverage requirement, and there's square footage right at 30%. And so we thought that was rather than ask for more, everybody wants more, but we thought have it fit would be an appropriate request. And then the second floor has square footage that, in theory, you could go up a level. In theory, you could pop the house forward, but there's ledge there. So that's where the idea of an ADU comes. 6 siblings are, it's Emma and Brooks are 2 of my 6, and Zach is married to Madeline's my 3rd of my 6. So it's kind of a family investment, creating a couple spots for 20-somethings to live, and that's why we proposed it that way.
Okay.
Is there any questions?
I'm sure there's questions. Joe, you can start.
So I know they exist, but I've never seen an application here before where the existing structure is partially on the adjacent property and will continue to be on the adjacent property. Do you have any statement from the adjacent property owners as to your plans? Have they signed off, said they like what you're gonna do, or any input from them?
Well, Emma and others went and door knocked. The only party that people we've had substantive discussions were on the left and right, so the most affected properties. You'd be open to hearing from Emma. She could explain the half-hour discussion with the lady to the left, which was very positive. She did sign the document. She's the only one that signed it. And then the gentleman to the right, of course, these are all rentals, right? The gentleman to the right, who is the actual owner, called and discussed because he was noticing that, no one's ever seen a survey in that neighborhood, right? So my attorney, Ken Gruder, says that kind of footfall stuff, this is not on, footfall stuff like that's covered by Connecticut statute. So if it's more than 15 years old, this is 120 years old. We have happy conversations with 2 neighbors, and I asked them, I don't know if we're supposed to get that, but that's.
We're not here to resolve title issues. It's just that, not only is there no side yard, but the building is actually on somebody else's, what in the record is somebody else's property. Whether you actually own it or not is entirely different, but it's just, I've wanted to, have you contacted it's the owner behind and the owner on the left, right?
Yeah, they've all been sent letters. We door knocked. We had one person answer the door. Other people, I think there's a funny story about threatening of firearms. It's been a real joy to try to meet the neighbors. But we've met a renter on the one side who's affected and owner on the other side, and we've sent out letters and we have no comments.
Matt, could we ask for a limitation on the use of the garage to the occupants of the property?
Well, when you have an accessory dwelling unit, the primary owner of the property must reside in either the house or the apartment. So that's already in place.
Right, but it's a 2-car garage.
Yep.
So does that mean that anybody who parks their car there has to live in the house, or does it?
I think so.
Okay. So.
Why would
The garage is,
What is the benefit of restricting the use?
Whether it's for the apartment or the house. And then the driveway will be used for the overflow.
Just because it's a strange property, that's all. And there's a 1-car garage that's going to become a 2-car garage or replaced with a 2-car garage. So if it's for the benefit of the residents of the property, then, or even the owners of the property, then that's one thing. If it's going to be rented out because there are no garages in the neighborhood, it's a question that gets raised, that's all.
I don't think his intention is to rent out the garage and not the apartment.
We have six siblings that are looking. That's a solution for 2. Not,
Actually, I have a question for Matt. So the ADU, do you have to have the door to the ADU visible from the street? That's not a requirement?
No.
It's not, so it's okay, that's on the back.
And Jane, this ADU has to come to us for approval because it's not allowed in this zone.
Right, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
It's allowed, it's just not allowed to be detached. Which is why they're in front of us.
Which is what they're in front of us for.
Previously, didn't the ADU door have to be visible from the street? It never had to?
Accessory apartments, our regulations are that we prefer to have the door on the side or the rear of the house, not a second front door.
I thought it was changed to so you could.
Not that I'm aware of.
So what happens, what's the address of the ADU? Same as the
It
house?
does not have a separate address.
It's the same address.
Same address. Yeah, you could do it A and B, but it's one parcel.
So I mean, we discussed the detached issue. It's replacing an already detached structure. I'd say it's less detached because it's closer to the house, but that,
I'm just wondering how, somebody living there.
But in theory, you could shove it back there, right, in theory, but then there's a lot of ledge there on kind of where it showed, like the gray part of the house there, the front left. That would be a real headache.
I'm just wondering why you put the door to the ADU on the back instead of street side.
That's just the way the architect drew it. We're open to, we would make any
I'm not asking that you do it,
modest
I'm
change like that,
just
but it's
curious.
just how he drew it and it looked okay to me.
But you're not asking for coverage, there's no coverage issue here, it's all purely setback. ADU.
And ADU, and I guess it's detached. It's replacing an existing detached, the newer detached.
Right, the
That's-
ADU part of it is brand new, and that has to be approved separately than another garage. Okay.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Okay, thank you. Is there anyone here who would like to speak in favor of this application? Please come forward.
Somebody online has got their hand up.
Okay, I'll do that second.
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to step down. You want your stuff?
Oh.
Hi, I own the property next door on the right-hand
identify
side.
yourself,
Oh, my name is Tim Leahy. I am the current owner of 97 Gray Street, who is to the right side. It's a three-family home. My father and I bought it about 28 years ago. And my real concern here, which I spoke to Ryan about on the phone, is that where you see in the survey here, if you look on the right-hand side where the fence line is, that fence, for all intents and purposes, I put it there 3 times over the past 30 years, the better part of 30 years, and my driveway is right there. So I just am concerned because parking is a huge issue up there. So it's because there's a lot of multifamilies, there's apartments that shouldn't even be up there. I mean, if you've ever been up Gray Street, it's a different part of Fairfield. But regardless, I have a 3-family house that's on a non-conforming lot, and that driveway is incredibly narrow, as well as the gas company has their meters there, and then they have 2 like lolly column barricades that kind of, you hope they stop someone if they're driving, and they hit it, you hope, but they, I don't know if they would or not. Regardless, I don't want to, I talked to Ryan about, it's like, as long as, I don't want to, be against any of this, as long as we can get something in there that says I can keep my driveway there, because if I don't have that driveway, then we're going to have another 5 cars in the road up there, which I don't think is going to be beneficial to anybody. So that's just, my 2 cents. Other than that, it is what it is.
Okay. Would you like to address that?
I'm happy to.
Okay.
Should I pop back up?
Please just pop back up.
Yeah, when I said that, we just met for the first time.
We talked on the phone last week.
Yeah, I obviously.
Show me where your driveway, do you mind?
Sure.
Is it right on the other side of the fence?
Yeah, I just wanna see it.
driveway. See where this fence is right here? I should have taken a picture and brought it, but see where this fence is? This is actually pavement, but this is a few feet. I think, isn't Chris the guy that works for you right now? He told me that this is about 2 feet, I think, here, but you're already, I believe that doesn't include the 10 feet that's here, right, Matt? Right, so the fence starts here, and my porch is almost in direct line with it, but it's tight as it is. I mean, I have a full-size pickup truck, and I'm like really careful getting in and out of there. And, I usually have the tenants that all live up there, they park in the back because you go behind here, and then my whole yard back here is all paved because my 3-unit building is right here, and it's a 5-bedroom house. So, like, if I didn't have this access to park here, the whole street's already full of cars. It's just undoubtedly full of cars up there.
Yeah, but I just have a question though, like, when you say that, if it's your property, how him?
It's not his property.
Whose property is it?
His driveway's on.
Well, it's the same idea as here. His house is on this rear property one. This is May Street up here. And then this is like a duplex here. There's a duplex, side-by-side duplex here. So he's encroaching on this side and this side with his house, but my property is here. Technically, it's from here. I think my lot's 4,000 square feet, so I believe it's 40 by 100, but I could be wrong. But so mine's like here to here, but if, say, someone moved the fence to here, I could no longer access my whole parking.
Okay, so now I understand the question. So now can you come back here and answer, just so you're on the speaker and we can get you for the record? Sorry, I just needed a little bit of visuals for that.
But yeah, what I had said to Tim is, all of us down there probably have similar issues, and we're not coming into the neighborhood to create, a problem for you when I have the same problem over here, and probably every lot on that street has a similar problem, because when Mr. Gruder analyzed it and Caddick underwrote it, they're like, there's no surveys in any of these properties down here, none of them. And so we closed and did that. But yes, I'm not going to come over to Mr. Leahy and talk to him about his fence position when my house is, a foot on 2 of my neighbors' yard, and that's what we discussed.
So do you have a solution you'd like to offer, Mr. Leahy?
Live and let live. Let it be.
How comfortable are you with
Well,
that?
my preference would be something in writing.
Right, so.
Something in writing saying that, like, that because it's nothing personal against, I have more worry about, it's like, okay, the kids get older, they all move out, they move on. Then it's like, okay, what happens now? We sell the house to somebody else. And just not anything against what goes on, but what goes on up there, up on Gray Street, there's a lot of apartments up there that shouldn't be there. And I've known this for years, and it's been.
But sticking to the point, I think.
But what I'm saying is, it's added to. Nobody's policing anything up there. So what I don't want is to be like, okay, Ryan sells the house to somebody else who says, oh, I'm going to rent out both things because nobody's policing it.
So neither of you talk to an attorney.
And that's where I'm at.
No, I'm sure Mr. Gruder could gen something up.
You could do an easement between.
Yeah, you could do a simple
You
easement.
can't have a vehicular easement because it will reduce the size of his property.
So what options does he have?
They would have to negotiate between each other, but whatever it is, they can't do a vehicular easement.
Could we?
Because then Ryan's property will get smaller, and then he'll have to come back before the board to get a coverage variance potentially, because he's losing the property at that point.
Okay.
He doesn't lose the ownership right of the property. What he loses is the ability to calculate that toward all of his other building components.
Because he's asking us for lot coverage variance right now. Right, so he'd have less, like. Go ahead,
Could we add a condition that says that the fence will stay in place in perpetuity?
I don't know.
Can we do that?
Well, arguably, Mr. Leahy shouldn't have put the fence on the property anyway.
Well, I didn't. No, hold on a second. No, hold on. I didn't put. The fence was there.
You just had to replace it 3 times.
No, I know, but the fence was there, and I did it in conjunction with the current owner of that house.
Fine.
Everyone pitched in.
I'm not getting argumentative. I'm just telling you.
No, I know.
When people put up a fence, they usually get a survey of their property to identify the property line. So for this board to do any type of condition of approval, I think would not be legally the right way to go. I think if they're going to work something out between the 2 of them, let them do that. You guys base your decision on the facts that are in front of you in regard to what Ryan's asking for. What Tim is asking for, if he has no opposition to what they're doing and they are able to work it out between the 2 of them, that is between the 2 of them and each property. not this board.
Mr. Leahy said that he was worried about it being sold and then those two buildings being rented out. The owner has to live there in order to have an ADU, correct?
Yes, arguably,
And have two rental units.
Mr. Leahy is correct in regard to, there are probably illegal units up there, as they are throughout town. I do not work on anything but, people will call me and advise me that there's something potentially illegal going on that I have to do research and investigate on, in which case I will then issue fines or violations or whatever. Nobody's called me on stuff up on Gray Street, so it's not like I can police an area that I'm not.
I'm just saying to reassure him, if this property is sold, in order to have an ADU, the owner has to live in the primary residence.
Or the ADU.
Or the ADU. You can't,
I
it can't be
agree.
both two rental properties, just two.
I agree. But there's lots of things that happen that
Okay, but just so you know.
Saying, I've been
at the same time
involved with real estate in this
We
town
don't
for-
have,
for 30 years.
I don't think that we have the standing or the, notice, I believe, the variance that he's asking for and the way that he's asking for it. I don't see a way that it's written by this board or with any standing by for what we can enforce or do that would limit what he wants to do with the property that he technically owns. I think good neighbors being good neighbors is easily the way to do it, but outside of this room, you guys can involve all the lawyers and do whatever needs to be done. I just don't think that, and I don't see a way that, based on what's before us, we should offer any restriction or condition.
Do we have someone else that was going to speak?
Mr. Gill is online. I'm not sure what he's wants to speak about, but he's got his hand up.
Okay, Mr. Gill?
Yes, thank
His
you.
name
Thank
and
you.
address?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairman and board members. My name is Gregory Gill, and I, along with my wife, Von Lee, are the owners of 62 May Street. We have owned that dwelling since 2004, and I'm making today's remarks on behalf of both of us. I would just like to raise a brief objection to the proposed expansion of 89 Gray Street, and I would like to clarify that my objection is specific to the proposed two-story accessory structure. I think that the vertical build-up changes the look and feel of the residential neighborhood, and many of these houses, particularly on May Streets, are one-level homes. So beyond the increased density and potential for compounding the parking problems that are raised by Mr. Leahy, my chief concerns are also around the privacy, which is essentially hindered by the vertical build-up. And the resulting impact that's going to have, potential perceived property values, right? So the concern is that, while I provide some privacy, through fences, through a fence, that's sort of taken away when there's a vertical rise in the neighborhood. So I think that's all I'd like to bring up.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to respond to that? You don't have to, but you have the right to.
You're referring to the garage?
Well, what is described in the notice is a two-story accessory structure.
Okay. And you're behind me, behind the house?
I'm on 62 Main Street, yes.
You have a line of sight to that location?
I do.
Okay, no response. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of this application? We were on that, but they jumped ahead of me. Is there anyone else here who'd like to speak in opposition to this application? Seeing none, hearing none, this application is closed. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to go on to number 15, which is 872 Mountain Laurel Road, lot 91, partial 28N. Petition of Carrie Sweetie for a variance to the zoning regulations, section 3.5.1, to increase the total lot coverage from 10%, currently 10.1, proposing 12.1. Permission to construct a one-story addition premises AA zone.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, members of the board. For the record, my name is John Fallon. I'm pleased to be here representing Miss Carey and Mr. Rory Sweeney, and they're sitting patiently in the front row. They reside at 872 Mountain Laurel Road. They've lived there since 2018 with their children. And Carrie happens to be a school teacher, and that has some relevance to the underpinnings of this application because in addition to their own children, the Sweeney home has become a very welcoming neighborhood location for their family and friends of the children. And so they are simply looking, as they remain in this very close-knit community, for some additional space so they can create a safe, comfortable space for their children and their friends to socialize, study, spend time together in a supervised environment, particularly when outdoor activities are limited in the wintertime. So the addition, I think, speaks for itself. As proposed, it's going to allow the Sweeneys to better accommodate their family activities by continuing to provide some additional welcoming space for the children and their friends. I think it's a great thing that this young couple is committed to doing that and is comfortable having their home be a gathering place, not only for their own children, but for other children in the neighborhood. The goal here is not to maximize the size of their house, as I'll elaborate on in a minute, but just to make it more functional for their family's needs and desires. They've worked carefully with their architect on this plan to ensure the addition fits within the character of their home and the neighborhood. Talk about the property. The property is located in the Residence AA zone. It happens to be a pre-existing and legally protected non-conforming lot with regard to both lot area and shape. As you know, the zone contemplates a minimum lot area of 43,560 square feet. This lot is just over half of that. It's 24,032 feet. In order to facilitate the proposed addition, we are seeking a variance of section 3.5.1 to increase the allowable lot coverage from the current 10.1% to 11.8%. Let me dwell on that for a second. I think the call indicates that we're seeking a variance to 12.1%. Subsequently, and I provided Matt with this, we noted that the survey that was submitted originally showed for a shed to be retained on the property. That shed is being removed. We did submit to Matt a revised survey.
It's in our record.
You got it, right, okay. And that takes what I hope you will agree, fairly de minimis coverage request, especially considering the non-conforming status of the lot, from the 12.1 to 11.8. We're going to conform in every other respects to all of the provisions of the regulations, and that includes the floor area ratio, which, again, notwithstanding the very non-conforming nature of the lot, will be post-construction 17.4%, well under the 20% allowed in the zone. So if we look at section 8-6, first, you have to determine that what we are proposing is not going to have any negative impact on the comprehensive zoning plan. And secondly, you have to find that there are factual elements with regard to the property that establish a hardship basis. The first part of the test, I think, is pretty easy. The Egan case, which is in my material, says that if the use to be made of the variance made of the property after the variance is granted is a permitted use in the zone, that satisfies the test. We're not going to change the use of our property. We're simply looking to enhance it for purposes of a family use that they very much desire to foster. There's not going to be any other changes to the regulations. No other variances are sought. And indeed, we are going to abide by the FAR standards in the zone. Finally, the addition as designed by our architect, I think is attractive. It harmonizes with the character of the existing house, with the neighborhood in that regard. We did go to our neighbors, and Carrie and Rory did, and I'll give the originals here, but here's a copy. We did talk to all of our abutting neighbors, all of whom are aware and have no objection to the granting of the application. The hardship, the hardship is clear. It's an extremely legally protected, pre-existing, non-conforming lot. As I said, it has just over 24,000 square feet in a zone that contemplates 43,560. The case law that I cite is fairly rock-ribbed in Connecticut, and that is when you have a legally protected, valid, non-conforming lot under Connecticut General Statutes 8-2, that does provide a proper basis for a finding of hardship, especially with regard to coverage variances. And as I said here, the coverage variance is relatively de minimis to 11.8%, notwithstanding the lot being almost 50% smaller than what is contemplated by the zone. So in conclusion, and subject to any questions you might have, Carrie and Rory are great parents. They love their neighborhood. They want some additional space so they can meet their children's needs, to an extent the needs of the neighborhood, because it's a great gathering spot for the children in the neighborhood. They were careful in the design, notwithstanding the non-conforming nature of the lot, not to exceed what they thought would be in keeping with the character of the home and the other homes around them. We have all of our neighbors' support. I think we meet the standards of 8-6 as it relates to the hardship requirement, and we hope you will approve the application. We'd be pleased to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions? No questions from the board.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Is there anyone here or online who would like to speak in favor of this application? Is there anyone here or online who would like to speak in opposition to this application? Okay, I don't see any. This application is closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we're moving on to number 16 in our agenda, which is 27 Bloomfield Drive, map 44, parcel 111. Petition of Michael Naraki for a variance to the zoning regulations, section 3.4.1, to reduce the side setback from 15, currently 6.6, proposing 6.6, permission to construct a rear addition and deck, premises R3 zone.
Good afternoon. My name is Kamil Mrozek. I'm represent Michael Nawrocki, who is here. And
Where are you from? Where do you live? Your address?
My address is 7 Congress Avenue in Shelton.
Okay.
Michael just bought a property at 27 Bloomfield Drive. Unfortunately, that property, that lot doesn't comply with the minimum requirement on the front and both left and right sides. So our natural direction to improve that building is to extend that to the back and go up. We don't want to go any further to the property line, so we decided to use the existing bump out that is there, and this is only 6 feet from the property line. But our idea is to create the second floor with 3 bedrooms and 1 shared bathroom. By using the shed dormer on the back, and to improve the building on the front, we would like to make just 2 dormers. And the house is in pretty bad shape right now, so it requires to replace all windows and doors, and also the front portico. Everything has to be replaced anyway. And as I said, the location of that house is it's too close to any border, so it has to be asked for the variance anyway. So our idea was to improve that building because Michael is a father of 3 and he requires more space. And what I can say, if you don't want us to bring another 3 kids over here next time, I would like to ask you for the variance today. But the idea is to completely renovate the first floor, changing the kitchen and bathroom locations. And on the second floor, we would like to just keep the roof as it is and just make the shed dormer on the back. The only thing we would like to do also is the knockdown of the side portico that is existing on the right side on that drawing, and to make a small deck under the proposed addition. So it's going to be the same footprint as it is right now, and just with no side door. And this is pretty straightforward, and I don't know if I can say anything more about that for now.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Does the board have any questions of this application? Joe? Okay. And like you said, you have a non-conforming lot?
Yes.
That's right. And your lot does not, I don't think are you square on the lot? No. Okay.
No.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Any other questions from the board? No? Okay.
Thank you so much.
Is there anyone here who would like to speak in favor of this application? Online, in the room? No. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak in opposition to this application? Here, online? No, this application is closed. Thank you. You're a very patient little boy.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All of us. Okay, we are moving on to number 17.
Yep.
Okay. 298 Fairview Avenue, map 128, parcel 269, petition of Clyde and Katja
Walkup.
Yep. For a variance of the zoning regulations, section 3.4.1, to reduce the sideline and sum of two sideline setbacks from 7 feet and 25 feet, currently 6.6 and 19.6, proposing 6.6 and 19.7, and section 3.5.1 to increase the lot coverage and floor area from 20% and 40%, currently 24.9 and 38, proposing 28.3 and 49. Permission to construct a rear two-story addition with a rear landing and stairs, premises A zone.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairperson, and hi to the board. My name is Clyde Walkup. I'm the owner at 298 Fairview, along with my wife, who cannot be here. She's home with our 2.5-year-old, trying to survive this heat. We are looking to replace an existing one-story addition on the back of the house with a slightly larger two-story addition on the back there. We are in Zone A, and we are non-conforming, pre-existing non-conforming lot that is about 50% of that really required lot size in Zone A. So we're requesting a variance for both floor area percentage and lot coverage. We're not changing the setbacks at all really on the side there. We do have full support of the neighborhood. We're staying within the character of the neighborhood as well. I think I have signatures from all the neighbors, both behind us on the side and 3 across the street, who are in full support of that as well. I don't know if I have anything else beyond that. Like I said, our hardship is both, we're non-conforming. If we were, conforming lot size, we would qualify for both requests on this.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, thank you. Questions from the board? No. And wait, we do? Jane has a question?
Yes, sure.
We're just going straight up.
We are just going straight up. Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, there's the rendering right there, kind of the existing elevation. And I believe, so just very quickly on that, I believe there's similar applications in our neighborhood that have been granted for this type of work, because both Fairview and Colony are, all non-conforming within Zone A. Okay, great.
No more questions from the board, thank you. Is there anyone here who would like to speak in favor of this application? Is there anyone here who'd like to speak in opposition to this application? No, okay, this application is closed. Thank you very much. Number 18 on our docket has been, I keep saying docket like it's a.
It is.
Number 18.
Have a gavel.
I don't like that. This has been continued to 9/3/2026. We are moving on to number 19 on our agenda. The application is 290 Ronald Drive, map 76, parcel 23. Petition of Fabrizio Ranelli for a variance to the zoning regulations section 3.5.1 to increase the total lot coverage from 15%, currently 15%, proposing 16.39, permission to construct a shed. Is the applicant online or here?
He's online.
Okay, name and address, please.
Juana Fernandez and Fabrizio Rinelli at 290 Ronald Drive.
Okay, please describe your application to us.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. This request to build our shed is to incorporate a well-designed, compatible structure that complements the appearance of our house while providing practical solutions for our family needs. Our family has grown and with the boys and the equipment that they need for football and, all the necessities. Our garage has, it needs the 2 cars. So we are proposing to build this shed in, to simply provide enough functional space, storage. So I'm not tripping over the lawnmower or anything that Fabrizio has in the way. It's, like I said, it's storage, home maintenance tools, seasonal items, and our children's sports equipment that we use on a daily basis. This shed has thoughtfully been designed to remain entirely within the required setbacks and complement the character and appearance of our home. It will allow us to organize our property safe, neat, and attractive while preserving the overall aesthetics of our neighborhood. We have been very fortunate to have wonderful neighbors that have, either across the street, aside from us, and even behind us have agreed with this proposal.
Okay, thank you. Okay, questions from the board? Katie, do you have any? Do you know what their hardship is?
No.
Okay.
I can't figure it out.
That's my question.
Do you know, or could you tell us what your hardship is?
Go ahead.
We are over coverage. We'll be over coverage. If we do the shed, it's about 110 square feet, 11 by 10 only. We have 2-car garage. We already have 3. I'm a little nervous. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We have 3 cars right now, and my wife, I gave her a Vespa. She fight and beat cancer. And I gave her a surprise Vespa. We have limited space in our garage, and since we have a 3-car and now a little Vespa, we need to build this shed to put landscape equipment, pool equipment. It will be only 110 square feet, very simple shed. Just to storage items.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? No? Okay. No
You
other
could
questions?
approve it on the condition he makes it a she shed instead.
I agree with that.
I tried to say it quietly enough. Sorry, Fabrizio.
Okay, there's no more questions from the board. Is there anyone here or online who'd like to speak in favor of this application? Is there anyone here or online who would like to speak in opposition to this application? Okay, that's no, this application is closed. Thank you very much. Okay, we are moving on to number 20. 228 Buena Vista Road, map 28, parcel 236, petition of Andrew Becker for a variance to the zoning regulations section 3.5.1 to increase the total lot coverage from 20%, currently 19.3, proposing 21, permission to construct a front open porch with stairs, premises A zone. Oh, Mr. Becker, I see you online. Just name and address, please.
Yes, Andrew Becker, 228 Buena Vista Road. I'm the property owner. My wife and I are lifelong Fairfield residents, and we lived at this property for 20 years, actually on Monday. Over the years, we've done numerous improvements to the property and are just looking to kind of complete our vision in the front of the house with a new porch, roof, and some other upgrades. We are asking to install roughly a 17 by 6 foot porch, open porch. Our hardship is that our house was built in 1952 on a 5,533 square foot lot, which is non-conforming and substantially undersized for today's A zone of 9375. We are asking for a minimal lot coverage increase due to the porch. Our house is one of the smaller houses on the road, and I think these updates would be tasteful and make our home fit in with the neighborhood. I'd also like to note that most of our neighborhood is non-conforming to today's A zone requirements. I did stop by and see Matt today. We dropped off 3 full pages of neighbor sign-offs that we got in a matter of an hour and could get more if we needed. That's pretty much it. Thank you for your time and consideration. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
No.
No, I don't think anyone has a question. All right, seeing no questions from the board, we're just going to see if anyone is here online who'd like to speak in favor of this application. Is there anyone here online who'd like to speak in opposition to this application? Okay, no, this application is closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we are moving on to our final application. Very exciting. Number 21, 225 Paper Mill Lane, map 180, parcel 352, petition of David Redmond for a variance to the zoning regulations section 3.4.1 to reduce the rear line setback from 30, currently 26.9, proposing 26.9, permission to construct a second floor.
Hello, thank you. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it. So my name is David Redmond, and my wife and I recently purchased a home at 225 Paper Mill. We're looking forward to moving into the neighborhood. The home desperately needs a renovation project to bring it up to the aesthetic standard of the neighborhood. And we're looking to do a second floor addition, which is going to be exactly the same depth as the current structure. And we discovered going through the process that for a small part of the existing property, there's a pre-existing non-compliance with the rear setback requirements. So for a very small point, there's 26.9 instead of the 30-foot requirement. And the reason for this is because there is a odd shape lot at the back, so there's not a perfect square line or rectangle. So at that small point is just a few feet short of the required distance. And our planned addition is a vital part of our desire to improve the property. I mean, I've certainly no problem in saying that we bought the ugliest house on the street. And I do have the support of the neighbors in the vicinity. So we spoke to the neighbors on either side and then the 3 across the street. And not to put words in their mouth, but they all seem quite excited that the house is going to get an upgrade. And it's worth noting as well, there's no property behind us. So we're the I-95 is behind us actually. So just to emphasize, there's no existing variance. To emphasize, there is an existing variance, and our proposed addition will not in any way add to the non-compliance, and our intent is to simply add over the existing footprint.
Okay, thank you.
And I have the signatures here for
Do you see that? That's a store they're showing us. Is that appropriate?
I have no idea who it is.
Yeah.
It's someone watching the hearing that has their camera going the wrong way, probably.
No idea.
Oh,
There
there
she is.
is.
She's there.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, questions from the board on this application? Is there any
It's just
questions?
making me hungry. Forgot inappropriate.
No questions from the board? Okay, with no questions from the board, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this application here or online? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition to this application here or online? Okay, now we're going to close this application. That's our last application. Thank you for your patience. We're just going to take a restroom break, 2 minutes, and then we're going to come back and vote.
Go in 2 minutes.
But I don't see my
Okay, we are ready as a board to start our process of voting, and then any of you are here, just so you know, this is not, no public comment. public can't speak during this time. Okay, so, first item on our docket is 50 Hamlet Hill Road, and they are looking to construct a 2-story addition. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second. Second, okay. Discussion.
They do have a hardship. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it's another, the topography of the lot. It's a really small request, fairly straightforward, 0.9. Yeah.
Hardship.
How does the topography hardship impact the need to cover the lot by more than allowed?
Because they have to have these very steep steps that come down from the deck, if I recall. And if they didn't have, if it was just flat, they wouldn't have to have the steps.
Yeah. It's built up, it's literally built up on piers.
Any other
Right, but the addition just adds square footage. There's no stairs or anything. It's just looking at the design here, and I'm not.
It says without this significant change in elevation, a deck of this size would not be necessary. So it's a site-specific hardship.
It's like it's existing, it's not new. It's an existing deck, that doesn't.
Right, but if it even if it's existing, if they didn't have to have, if the, in my opinion, if the topography was such that you could just walk straight out, then they wouldn't have to ask for additional coverage.
But they're asking it because they're building an addition of a certain size. They could also roll back the size of the addition and.
But it also would throw off the geometry of the house. It would not fit.
Please, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, this kind of goes back to fundamental, how you're viewing the hardships. So for me, I'm looking at it and saying, you know, we as a board wouldn't exist if it was cut and dry, black and white. Like, if you don't have a hardship, don't even come, because otherwise we wouldn't exist here. But we exist here to kind of judgmentally look and see, is it affecting the comprehensive zoning plan? Are the neighbors okay with it? Is it small? Is it small? And in this case, there actually is a hardship that we can look to justify a decision to let them do this small increase in coverage.
They have a hardship tied to the property.
People pay a lot of money for houses in this town, and we should try to, in my opinion, if the neighbors are okay with it and it's small, we should probably try to let them.
That's the.
But that's mine.
That's the realtor.
It's the realtor in me, right? It's just a citizen in me. You know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's also why we sit here.
Yeah.
It's the entirety of why we sit here.
Okay, so no more discussion. We can go to a vote. Katie, you're first.
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Jeff?
No.
Jane?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. Okay, so that application is approved. Next is 235 Lovers Lane. They want to construct a second floor over the existing first floor. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Brian and Jane second. Okay, discussion.
There's no change in really the existing condition on the property. They have, if I'm not mistaken, a pre-existing nonconformity based on the size of the lot. They do.
They're not square on the lot.
They're not square on the lot.
Non-conforming lot.
They have a pre-existing nonconformity.
Right. Any other discussion?
And there's no change. I mean, they're currently 21.9 and they're asking for 21.9.
Straight up.
Literally no change.
And they're conforming to the FAR.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to vote. Katie?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Jane? Yes. And I'm also a yes. The application's approved. Number 3 is withdrawn. Number 4 is 99 Patrick Drive. They are looking to construct a shed. A motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second.
Seconds.
Discussion.
So she did state within the course of her application, that they do have, based on the placement of the garage, a topography issue. There's very few places on the property where they could put it. I know she got into all her personal stuff, but the reality is she did say the word topography. It did limit where they could put it. It's going to be invisible to the neighbors. Even her neighbor most affected immediately abutting the property wrote a strongly enthusiastic letter approving the project. It's a very small ask.
She didn't say topography.
She did.
No, she said her yard is sloping. Just to be clear of what was said, because she
You just
doesn't
said
know
it.
that. You know, she doesn't understand that part. The thing I would like to discuss a little bit among our board is, you know, as we look at this application, there's a lot of shed applications, a lot.
Yeah.
And these are very small units usually, but if they're over 200,
Anything.
they have to come in front of this board. And a lot of them are.
No, that's
No.
not the case.
How big?
Over 200, they need a building permit.
Right,
Anything under 200 does not need a building.
unless they
But
affect
it-
lot coverage.
No.
Only a zoning permit.
Okay.
Zoning permit's required for
So these are hard for us because we have a lot of oops with sheds too. So I just wanted to bring up that this is a consistent thing that comes in front of our board. And not sure where we stand on it,
Can
but
I make a comment?
yes.
I mean, yes, everybody has, if you have a two-car garage, you want to put your cars in
Right.
there, but you don't have to. Lots of people leave their cars on the driveway and fill the other bay with all the stuff that they're saying that they don't have a place for.
But we also hear every single application independently, and we sit on no precedent.
Right.
So however many of these we hear, we get to hear them independently. There are cases in which there are objections. There are cases in which there's impingement or infringement on other properties or lines of sight. And a huge percentage of these are just, I love my word, de minimis. If I could go in and change the regulations for sheds, I would, but I can't because they still have to come before us based on what they do. And
And this is another one that, again, it's 1.3%. The neighbors are fine with it. And quite frankly, like, the people that are coming with these shed things, they're trying to follow the rules. I mean, they could very easily plop a shed in their backyard and no one's ever going to call the town on them.
they're also by
They're
and
trying
large
to be good.
designing really nice things. They're
Well,
not
they're trying to be
going.
good citizens by coming before the board and not just
Yeah.
doing it, whereas a lot of people do just do it. And I think
So the issue is a coverage ratio on a lot that's 50%, that's 30% bigger than the zoning requires. So it's not like it's 30% less, it's 30% more, and they still having coverage ratio issues. I don't,
But we have the ability as a board to say, you know what, that's a small ask, the neighbors are fine with it, it's not affecting the comprehensive zoning, and again, I'll say it one more time, we exist because people come to ask for variances, they come to ask for to not adhere to the zoning rules, and we wouldn't exist if we didn't have the ability to do that.
Comes down, what is the hardship here?
And they don't have one.
And she said, and no, she didn't say the exact word topography. She said that her yard slopes in such a way that this is the best place and only place they can really
But she
put.
gave us no evidence. We have no
Placement-
idea what.
Placement doesn't have anything
It's
to do
fine.
with coverage.
Yeah, but the other thing I would point out too is that, you know, that size lot, they could go up to 40% FAR. So in terms of bulk, which we don't like, they only have 26% used. They could build a big house. They're not asking. One doesn't have anything to do with the other. Other than they're undersized, they're a little over on the coverage, and we have the purview to say, well, we don't exactly have maybe the hardship is the topography, maybe you don't have one at all, but we have the ability to say.
There are no elevation marks on the survey, so we don't know what the topography is.
And at that point, I tend to take a person at their word.
All right, well, that's here nor
but
there.
coverage doesn't have anything to do with topography in this case. It's a detached building. It's not like it's the difference between a patio and a deck. That topography affects that, but in the coverage as well. But here we've got a detached thing. It could go anywhere on the property. Topography is in no way involved in their ask, which is to exceed the coverage ratio.
Okay, I think we'll vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do this again.
Katie?
Yes.
Yes.
Joe?
No.
I'm a no.
And I'm a yes. So that's approved. Oh, no, sorry, I'm a yes, but it's not approved. So that application was not, that variance was not granted. Okay. We are moving to 122 Colony Street. They are looking for a rear deck. Motion to approve.
So moved.
And second?
Jane seconds.
And discussion.
Pre-existing non-conforming lot size and square.
Yep.
Any other discussion?
Just give me 2 seconds here.
And no setback issues at all.
It's about as straightforward as we get. I don't know.
He's trying to get the application up, and on mine too, they, for some reason, they don't work well on these units.
Download the whole.
That's what it should do.
Yeah. If you click download, and just go in the reverse order, you can keep them in Windows. And
I just look at Jane's.
Yeah.
I'm ready to vote.
Okay. Katie?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. So the application was approved. Variance was approved. Number 7 is 234 Beach Road. They want to construct a 1- and 2-story addition. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second? Okay. Discussion.
I was trying to do the arithmetic, but I just couldn't do it fast enough.
They have a pre-existing
But
nonconformity
if
on the
it
lot.
was a pre-existing lot size, would they be conforming with their coverage and all that? That's what I was trying to figure out. I gotta do that.
No, we're on 7.
Oh, I can tell you.
Yeah, so you,
No.
I'm sorry.
I did it.
Yeah.
So if they were, where my notes are, their coverage is 20, and if they were, no, it's not a good answer. Pass.
They have a pre-existing
Yes.
nonconformity. They have a plan that has been approved by the entire neighborhood.
Yeah.
I know,
It
but I
is-
think her,
it's-
but she has a question that we need to.
The question is, if
Not
we-
just say it over and over again. She wants to know if this lot was the correct size, would they be a conforming, right?
Yes.
And
They'd be at
is the
36,
answer?
they'd be at 36.4%.
So the answer is yes?
Not 44, so.
Okay, I think we can vote.
Yeah.
Well, can I just?
Right, yes.
But they still are asking for an FAR that's 10% bigger than it's permitted. And that has to do with volume and bulk and scale and relationship to other neighbors and stuff. And I think it's just still too big.
But I honestly think that if there was any objection
Right.
within the neighborhood, they all had the opportunity to comment. They had the opportunity to be here. They had the opportunity to object. If there was any objection, I'd say fine. And it's, I don't, from the design of it, and when you look at what they're asking for, it's not a hulking structure. It's not looming over the street. It's not hanging over a property line.
Yeah, and they do have the hardship is that, it's an undersized lot. And again, if they had enough square footage, they'd only be at 36%.
But they don't. But the whole point
they
is
don't,
that they
right.
don't. So all these hypotheticals.
That's why we exist.
Right, and if it looked like something that was hulking over the neighborhood, I would.
The neighbors would
I would,
complain.
number one, they would have complained. Number two, I would object
Right.
as vehemently as anyone else, but it doesn't do that.
And if the neighbors don't mind it, and it's not affecting the overall zoning plan,
Which is not.
why do we want to step in and say, nope, sorry, especially when they do have a demonstrated hardship?
Okay, if there's no more discussion, we can vote. Katie?
Yes.
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Jane?
No.
Yes. We are on number 8, which is 245 Range Road. They are looking to construct an in-ground pool and equipment. Motion to approve.
So moved.
And second?
Second.
Okay, Katie. Corner lot, odd shape.
Non-conforming lot size,
Non-conforming lot.
improving an existing non-conformity.
Does anyone have any?
You guys hit all my notes.
Is there anything about this one that think met the qualifications for hardship?
No, they flat out meet it.
Okay, so I think we can vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
And Jane?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Okay, we are on to 1001. 1001.
Where are we?
1001.
Is that what you would say?
1001.
Okay, I like that better. 1001 Hulse Farm Road. They're looking to construct a second floor addition. I have a motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second.
10 seconds.
Okay, discussion?
After we cleared up the fact that it wasn't a new house, they said that, and it's just a second floor going above an existing portion of the house.
Anyone else?
Non-conforming lot, it's also a non-conforming lot.
It's all non-conforming. They're not changing any non-conformity. They're not ameliorating one, but they didn't change one either.
Yeah.
The best vocabulary.
Thanks. Classical education.
All right.
Okay, we're ready to vote. Katie?
Yes.
Yes.
Brian is a yes. Joe?
Yes.
And Jane?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. That application's approved, or variance is approved. Okay, we're moving on to 146 Chelsea Street.
No, that was, do we, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
we're on number 10.
Okay, because Brian would have corrected me.
Pardon me.
146 Chelsea Street. They want to construct a one-story addition.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Katie. Okay, discussion.
There's no hardship here. I mean, it's a beautiful addition, but there's absolutely no hardship that he could say, other than if you don't let him do this, they'll put a second, threat of putting on a second story.
But
But there's no.
there's also zero impact. It's practically invisible to anything. I understand the absence of a hardship. I don't argue it. But I've seen few applications before this board that were quite so thoughtful in how they literally blend into everything. They have thought of their neighbors. They have gotten approval from their neighbors.
1.6%.
1.6%.
No, it's 4.7% of.
More than they have now.
It's
But
more than what they have now, but it's a 1.6 request over the allowable, which is what we consider ourselves with.
4.7% over what's allowable. They're allowed
Okay,
20,
sorry.
they want 20.
They want 20.
They're asking for an
yes.
additional 1.6.
They're asking, correct, so
Yeah,
they're
this is-
asking for 1.4 more.
Another
The
one.
question is, for me, because this is a circular conversation we keep having, like, well, when is it too much? If they said 4%, is that too much?
I think-
7%, no, wait, let me finish.
Okay.
Like, where does this board go? How elastic are we? Do we, Brian, let me just, I understand that everyone has different views of why we're here, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because we're all elected, right? And everyone's here with a job to do, and they feel like they're representing the town. So I don't want to keep having the same argument of what's a hardship and that's why we're here, but, I think the thought has to be, yeah, you want to be flexible, but where does it end?
And for me, it would be, if there truly isn't a concrete demonstrable hardship, it's gotta be small. And first of all, the neighbors have to be A-okay with it and supportive of it. It has to fit with the neighborhood, and it's gotta be small. I mean, 1.6 is small.
So this fits your
For me, yeah, if he was coming saying, I wanna do, I don't know what the threshold is. If he was saying 5%, like, that's, I don't know what the number is, but I know it's not 1.6. I know
But
1.6.
in her mind, I'm just asking her thought process,
Right.
right? So, but I think on the other side of this, there's a thought process is that we're here for actual hardships, and if we don't see it, we're very uncomfortable to vote for
That's
it.
kind of our job.
Yeah. So, everyone has a little different of opinion here. I don't think you're gonna change anyone's mind sitting at the table. So I think, and if Joe is ready, we can vote. Okay, so we're gonna start with Katie?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And Joe?
No.
And Jane?
No, sorry.
I'm also gonna say no. Okay, but it didn't matter. That application is not approved.
God, I hope he builds a second floor.
The next is 402 Sasko Hill Road. Permission to construct a one-story garage. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Go for it.
Is that
Second.
you, second? Okay, you have to put your name away.
This
Oh,
one, okay.
I know you're
you
mad.
really wanna-
No, but
you
you
really-
just have to stay in it. I know
We
you're
are-
upset.
We are
Okay.
so fucking arbitrary.
Okay, this is a public forum, Brian.
Yep. And it can withstand one word of foul language. I apologize.
Okay, so.
Here's my comments on this one.
Yes.
How about that? First of all, they're at 36.7 now, and they're asking 36.7. So they're not increasing the nonconformity. They've got a topography issue. I mean, if you have driven by there, it's like a cliff, like you hoop down. And if we also want another hardship, there's no square, they do not have the appropriate square on the lot. So I would say it's appropriate. I think they're doing a lovely addition to the home.
There's no additional coverage things that they.
Exactly.
Yeah. Any other discussion on 402 Sasko? If not, we can vote. Katie?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. That variance is approved. Number 12 is 34 Fieldcrest Drive. They are looking to construct a rear elevated sunroom and deck with stairs. Motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second.
10 seconds.
Okay, discussion.
So they are trying to suggest that the conservation easement was a hardship, but it really has nothing to do with what they're proposing. Whether they had a conservation easement or not wouldn't make a difference. So that didn't really hold water for me as far as hardship.
Did anyone else see a hardship in this?
They did note topography in their presentation.
But it's a 1 foot change in elevation.
Well, you said it's 1 foot, Matt said it's 3 feet. Regardless, if it affects their ability or their requirement to have stairs in the riser, those count as coverage.
Well, they're choosing to build the addition on the second floor of their house. It's not at grade. It's not at the first floor level, it's at the second floor level. So that-
But he also said even if he took the stairs away, he'd still be
He
over.
would still be slightly over.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to see that, pull that out of him as a,
But I think what they're trying to build is consistent with the neighborhood, it is supported by the neighborhood, and it's not, again,
Small.
it's not a big ask to make that what they need.
Okay, any more discussion? Okay, we will go to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Joe?
No.
Jane? No. And I'm also a no. Okay, that application is not approved, variance not approved. We're going now to number 13, which is 15 Naps Highway. They want to construct a second floor addition to legitimize the existing lot.
It's Naps Park Drive, it's not Naps
Sorry,
Highway.
thank you very much. Okay, so can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm trying to turn it off.
Stop playing music.
Okay, discussion.
I was trying to tease out what was the hardship that they need other than for their family.
It's the Knox Park, it's a non-conforming lot, it's 75%
Yeah.
smaller.
Terribly
Okay,
non-conforming.
but that's what I was trying to like.
Yeah, it's 75% smaller than it should be.
Thank you.
Okay, if that's all our discussion, we can vote. Katie?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. That variance has been approved. 89 Grace Street. This is permission to construct a one-story addition and a two-story accessory structure for a garage, premises B zone. Okay. Motion to approve after I say it.
Sorry.
And a second.
Just used to it. So moved.
10 seconds.
Okay, discussion.
Do we have to also approve the ADU portion of this as a?
It's part of the variance.
It's part of the application.
This is a B zone, and B zone, you're permitted to have two-family houses, so
Yeah.
it's similar, to me, it feels like an ADU is kind of like having a two-family.
A second house, yeah, a second family house, or two-story house. It's also insanely topographically challenged. It's got more impingements and confusions on it than I think anything I've seen since I've been sitting here. But they did talk to all their neighbors as best they could. It sounds like they're going to work as closely with the neighbor that stood up and spoke, Tim, as best they can. And
And I don't believe he objected out of hand as long as the new owners, we have to trust that the new owners are actually going to follow through it.
But I think
Some kind of agreement.
And I think Matt,
agreement.
you can't talk. But I think Matt, made it very clear to us is that, we can't work through that.
No, we can't
No,
mandate.
that has nothing to do with what we're
Right.
doing
We're
here.
looking at what was presented to us. Obviously, we care about what the neighbor said and his thoughtful comments, but we can't make that a part of anything. Okay, right?
I think.
I'm just
I think
acknowledging,
the
I'm just
applic-
acknowledging.
I think the application on its merits drastically improves a yikes property.
Excuse me.
Just about anywhere. It is in keeping with the comprehensive zoning plan and doesn't in any way negatively impact, as best I can tell, either the neighborhood or the town. I disagree with the objection raised by the neighbor to the rear in terms of the height. I really don't think it's going to have any impact on sight lines or overcrowding or anything like that, which are also outside the purview of our board. I think it's a good application.
There's no one's asking for coverage or FAR on this. It's purely setback.
Purely setbacks.
Okay. And if there's any other discussion, Joe, do you have anything else? Okay, then we're going to vote.
Yes.
Katie? Brian?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
And I'm also yes. Okay, we are moving on to 872 Mountain Laurel Road. They are looking to construct a one-story addition. A motion to approve.
So moved.
Brian, and a second?
Jane seconds.
Jane seconds. Okay, discussion?
This is a pre-existing non-conforming lot, size and square, and all their setbacks will conform in the proposed work.
Yeah.
It's a small house.
Yeah?
That's it.
Okay, if there's no other discussion, we can vote.
Yes.
Katie, yes. Brian?
Yep.
Joe?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. Okay, we are moving on to number 16, which is 27 Bloomfield Drive. They are looking to construct a rear addition and a deck. Motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Katie, discussion?
It's a pre-existing non-conforming lot, no change in the existing condition in terms of the setback. 6.6 is staying 6.6.
Any other discussion? Okay, we
And
can.
they're not coming close to coverage or anything else, so it's.
Described as pre-existing non-conforming.
You can go to vote. Katie?
No. Yes.
Oh, she said no. I heard her. Katie's a yes. Brian?
Yes.
Yes.
Jane? Yes. And I'm a yes also. Okay, next we're at 298 Fairview Avenue. They are looking to construct a rear two-story addition with rear landing and stairs. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Brian, and a second.
Seconds.
Okay, discussion.
So as much as it's 0.1%, they're ameliorating one side setback by 0.1%. It's a pre-existing non-conforming lot. The addition itself is just really squaring off the back of the house. It's not what I would refer to as a typical overbuild, even given the request of the FAR.
Yes, but the FAR is only permitted to be 40, and they're asking for 49%. That's like 10%.
Again.
I'm aware it's off the back of the house. It's not, again, it's not hulking over anything. It's not drastically inside or killing any setback. It's what, 0.4 of a foot on one setback
So the floor area exceeds the regulation by how much?
by 9%.
9%. But let me, because I did the numbers on this one too. They're pretty seriously undersized, and so are a lot of the houses in the neighborhood. It's tight. The coverage they're asking for is 1,400 square feet, 1,450. If they had a conforming lot size, then they would be able to do 1,875. In that zone. So in other words, they're asking for 1,415.
What do you think of that?
1,415. If they had the right size lot, they could do.
I know, but they don't have the right size lot. That's the point. Like,
That's why we're here.
Right.
So we can help make an exception if we believe it's good. And again, neighbors think it's fine. It's not out of character with the neighborhood. It's not affecting the comprehensive zoning plan.
It's incredibly consistent
And
with the
that's
neighborhood.
why, you know,
And
they
how
have
big will this house be when they're done?
2,500 square feet,
And what is it now?
2,450, I believe.
It's currently 1,900.
It's still a very, I mean, that's still a very
It's a modest
normal,
house.
modest size house.
Okay,
They're definitely
well,
bigger houses. They're definitely bigger houses on the street, for sure.
Significantly.
Okay, we will vote. Katie?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Joe?
No.
Jean?
No.
I'm gonna say yes to that, even though it doesn't matter. Okay, 18 we're not doing. 19, which is 290 Ronald Drive. They're looking to construct a shed. Motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second?
15 seconds. Ready for discussion?
Oh, sorry, yes.
The lot conforms to size and square, so there's no hardship in terms of.
This is the same
lot.
discussion we had.
Same discussion,
Shed.
1.39%. You know, for me, that's
Tiny.
not a big ask.
So it's all about what you think about sheds.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Okay.
There's sheds on
Sheds,
conforming lots,
yeah,
and then there's
I
sheds
know.
on non.
And he may have to make it a she shed, so.
Okay, so we will vote since I don't, unless anyone has more
Yes.
discussion. Okay, Katie.
Yes.
I can't even remember your name. Brian?
Yes.
Joe?
No.
Jean?
No.
And I'm a yes. So that application, that variance was not approved. Next, we're going to 228 Buena Vista Drive. Permission to construct a front open porch with stairs. A motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second.
15 seconds.
And discussion.
It's a pre-existing non-conforming lot size. It's like almost half of
Right.
what that zone is.
If anyone else doesn't have a discussion, we can vote. And we don't. So Katie?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Okay, our last is Paper Mill Lane, 220. They are looking to construct a second floor addition.
This, no.
A motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second.
Jane seconds.
Okay.
This is a weird lot size, shape.
Well, that little indent causes all the problems
Right.
and why they're here. Because if he had a square back, we wouldn't even see them.
Right, and it's the I-95 property behind, so.
Okay, and any other discussion?
And nothing's changing as far as that they're 26.9 and they're still going to be 26.9.
Okay, if there's no more discussion, we can vote.
Yes.
Katie? Brian?
Yes.
Joe? Jane?
Yes.
Me, yes. Okay. That is our voting done. Is there any other business anyone wants to discuss today?
Nope.
If not, we are going to close this. Bye.
Who would have thought 3 hours?
You must be all exhausted.
Did pretty good, actually, 3 hours. I thought